everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman. Joining me this week, Michael Huber.
Yo!
Brad Ellis.
Hey, Kyle.
And in the booth, Ian Hink.
Hi.
No Jones this week.
No Jones.
Probably
Call
taking
them.
care of Milo.
Yeah.
Send him a text, taking it home. Okay, so let's talk about sports. All right, I'm done.
Are you just gonna bail on the bit now?
That's a pretty solid bit.
20-second
I didn't flub
bit?
the intro. I was
Okay.
happy about it.
All right.
I did ask Brad about it in the hallway, which I think you overheard. So
I heard whisperings. I knew there was something coming.
I've never done it. What are we at? We're past 200, right? For Easy Allies?
No. We haven't done 200 yet.
Okay.
Yeah, easy updates at 190. So
I think we're at I think this is 187.
I don't want to poke too much fun because you've
Yeah.
done a wonderful
187.
job moderating the Easy Allies podcast, Kyle.
Yes.
It's just fun to do.
And also, I'm the Dark Prince of Nerd Media now.
You've done that less times than the other. I
Yeah.
also hate that.
Wait, do you really?
I thought you were going to call yourself something different every week. I was like, oh, this is cool. He's going to come up with like a new thing every week.
Yeah.
You know, the fairy god of lightning or something. And
Yeah.
No, it was
But
back
then
to
I've really leaned into the Dark Prince.
Well,
of
then
Nerd
became the Dark
Media.
Lord of Nerd. You changed
it was nerd culture for a hot
Yeah.
minute.
Yes.
Really happy I'm not on this show every week.
Leader of the Nerd Dark World.
Couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I cannot handle this, dude.
Yeah.
Normally our bits,
It's been like 2 minutes.
Normally with our bits, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand the reference. That one, I'm just like, did somebody call you that? Like, I have no idea. Where
Nobody
that
called
came
me
from.
the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. I think so. I think honestly, if we're gonna track back, where this came from.
Track back.
I think somebody said, why does Kyle call himself a moderator? Ben just calls himself a host. Why won't Kyle just do that? Does he think he's better than a host? And so just to say, I don't think I'm better, it's not a thing. I make myself the worst possible thing. To say, hey, I'm the Dark Prince of Nerd Media. Oh, none
get
of
it
this is
now.
serious. Yeah,
I get it.
there's no ego there.
Moderator, though, like, that wouldn't be better than a host. It's more lateral. It's like even. Host, moderator, same thing. Same playing field.
I think a host
One is
has
not
more
superior.
personality, and a moderator is just there to like
Yeah.
keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's accurate.
I think you exercise it because you do more games and bits that are in frame trap and friend code and reaction shots and stuff. Like you tend to, when we ask you, you're like, oh no, here's my little brief opinion, but I really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Not anymore. I'm the Dark
Okay.
Prince.
The
Okay,
Dark
Jones, why don't we
Prince.
start corrections music? Eve is pronounced Eve. Y-V-E-S, Eve.
Oh, there's no.
No S. So let me just
Hopefully we'll never forget that.
Let me just see if we got this straight. Eve Guillemot. Is that right?
Sounds very right.
Yeah, let me know obviously if that's
Sounds
incorrect.
Very rat.
Mario, we wondered where that would rank in the top-selling, highest-grossing media franchises. 36.14 bill for Mario. He's number 8 in the top 10 media franchises. What's number 1, panel? What is the number 1
ESPN.
highest-grossing media franchise?
Media franchise.
Yeah.
NFL? Star Wars.
Not Star Wars.
It's not Marvel.
It's not Marvel.
Bond?
Just Disney
No.
at all?
It's not Bond. It's not Disney. It is
Seinfeld.
Pokemon. Pokemon was actually number 1.
Dude.
We looked at that number, we're like, what? How? And it was because that is the number 1 highest grossing media franchise
Cool.
on this planet.
Media at
Wow.
all, full stop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beating
So
Star Wars.
if your
beating
kid's
Marvel.
into Pokemon, be proud.
Yeah.
You know?
No, what's shocking?
They're number 1.
They're just like everyone else.
Winnie the Pooh is number 4.
Hell yeah, dude.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is that because it's just been around so long? It's been on the
Oh yeah.
it's been on the payroll for quite a
It
while.
has to be merch, dude.
I was just gonna say, I don't think a year has passed since its inception that he wasn't on something.
Yes.
There wasn't something you could buy physically that
Yeah.
he would be on.
Yeah.
Respect the bear, dude.
But that's crazy that like the new film was seen as such of like a, like he's been rebooted so many times and he's such a moneymaker for not really being around.
He's
It's
like
kind of
a-
like Peanuts, it's like
Yeah.
more around now in advertising than really like in its original form.
Winnie the Pooh is like the OG Hello Kitty or something, where
Yeah.
it's like he became more of an icon than his actual.
Hello Kitty's got to be up there.
Hello Kitty number 2. Dude.
Yes.
Number 2,
The
dude.
Hello Kitty episode of The Toys That Made Us on Netflix is probably the best episode.
Yeah, I
of
watched
show.
that actually,
It's
yeah.
really good.
Is there a season 2 of that show?
That is season 2. Season 3 is coming, I think.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Good show. The actual name of Seth's tummy orb is the Tandon engine.
Was Teenage Ninja Turtles in the top 10?
No.
No.
Nah.
Wow.
Lost momentum.
Yeah.
You know how we're talking about Winnie the Pooh every
Yeah,
year?
you're
You know,
right.
Turtles
You're
had some
right.
dips. Turtles had some real dips.
Roller coaster ride as a turtles fan.
Selling, dude, forever.
Steady as he goes.
Get that bear on everything.
So steady, dude.
Huge in
He's
China,
so humble,
yeah.
though. You know, for all his success.
He's lovable.
He really just kind of rolls with it.
He's big in China too.
He just needs honey, man.
End corrections music, please. We got a new segment title this week. I'm very excited about this. We talk about information, financial information quarterly, but we don't have a good little snappy title for it. So this week we introduce Fine Finances, Decent Dosh.
What?
Fine Finances, Decent Dosh.
Dosh is British for.
You can just give me the music and I can play it.
This is a jam.
Start the bit. Yeah.
Love that. That's a good tune.
I do love that tune though.
Yeah, that's great.
We only need the last part. You just need I typed in Sting. All we need is. But we still have the 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Fine Finances.
This is setting
Decent
the tone.
Dosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It always comes a beat later than I think it would too. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, all right, okay. So we have quarterly financials from 3 big companies. We talked about Ubisoft last week. Had some interesting things there. For a couple of these, just mostly like good news.
So that didn't come just fresh off of Breakpoint having problems. That was because they looked at
They're
the
quarterlies.
big fat numbers.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah, and that's
Still
why they're
reeling from that. I still think that was fascinating.
Oh, it was, dude. And Division 2, they're like, man. Oh, Jones, even on top of this. So on Kotaku's podcast, Split Screen, Schreier, I think, was talking about how at Ubisoft, now there's like a mandate internally where they are making the developers pitch their games, or even repitch their games as what is unique about your game. This is the first and most important thing is what is unique about it. And that really reflects off of what we read last week.
I don't know if uniqueness is
Yeah,
necessarily
so it has to be unique.
the
Yes.
issue, but
What?
that's one step of a many-step process.
Has to be unique.
I mean, their biggest money-selling games don't seem that unique anymore.
Well, I think that is what
Assassin's
they're...
Creed is not unique
It's probably
anymore.
how it's
Yeah.
unique to Assassin's Creed.
Right, like
oh,
Ghost
dialogue
Recon.
choices.
Like, what is unique about Ghost Recon Breakpoint? And you're like, Punisher guy, you know? And so,
Yeah.
like, that's the
Hey,
big
that's
problem.
something.
Yeah,
The Splinter Cell team is like, this is our shot.
it is your shot.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Orange suit. Like, if it's Sam Fisher in an orange suit, you have something. I swear to you, you have something.
Just use Sam Fisher in the future, dude. Imagine all the cool gadgets he could have if it's like
You pick the color.
old Sam Fisher. The year is 2052.
And he's like 70.
Yeah, dude, and he's got some like cool. He's just old Snake at that point, dude. He's
Well,
got octo
cybernetics.
camo.
Yeah.
Cybernetics.
yes.
Sick.
Write this down.
Yeah, write it down, Ubisoft. That's a tip.
Don't assume you'll remember this tomorrow. Write it down. Stop the podcast. Write it down now. Huber is here for you. Okay, so let's start with Sony, because Sony they have a record, a new record. They have sold at this point 102.8 million PlayStation 4 consoles. Last time we checked in, it was 100.0, and we're like, okay, buddies, because they were so happy to be there. But now that they did sell that 2.8 million, they are the second best selling console of all time.
Crazy.
Of all time.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
They're just behind the
PS2.
Wii? Oh, the PS2, that's right.
Yeah, and they're it's like 48 mil behind the PS2.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to catch the PS2, but they have number 2 lockdown. Nobody's gonna get close to them.
Crazy.
Well, I think it's a little bit more impressive than the PS2 because that DVD player was so critical, I think, to that success. And so the fact that I don't think there's anything really outside of the PS4, at least for me, outside of like the games I can play on that system that really make that the biggest value.
Totally.
Or
Yeah.
success, or like make me excited about the PS4.
Yeah, to me, not
But wow, what a gem.
with that headline, not much has changed since we talked about it when they hit 100 mil, and it seemed obvious they would get past those other two. Jones, what's kind of fun that you hit on when you're talking about the PS4 and its value outside of the games is they also announced that PlayStation Vue, their cable service, will end January 30th.
Didn't you have this?
I have this. I paid for this monthly.
Oh, no. What are you going to do?
That's a good question. I think maybe Hulu. Hulu's got live sports. I
Hulu's
see
great.
the commercial all the
It
time.
was great.
Do you do live stuff?
I don't do live stuff on there. But
okay,
Hulu is good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
We'll get the Disney Plus and then you get Hulu with it.
yeah, actually, you can.
Bundle it.
You can
I
get
need to bundle
ESPN
this.
Plus,
Yeah.
Hulu Plus, and Disney Plus all together.
Oh no, dude,
The
they
Disney
got
Plus
you.
launch is
Yeah,
like
I
in my calendar. It's like,
When is that day?
that's why it's in my calendar. I forget.
It's
I
like
think
November
it's
15th or
yeah.
8th. It's the
I
8th
think
or
it's
the
I
15th.
think it's 15th.
Yeah, 15th.
8th is another big day.
Yeah. 15th is because Mandalorian day 1, right?
Wait.
Oh no, Mandalorian's on the 12th, so it might be the 8th.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something.
so
something
8th is
there.
Death Stranding.
Between there.
Yes.
But sorry.
15th is Star Wars.
November 12th.
November 12th. Thank you.
Okay. Oh man, that November is gonna be
Creeping up.
Yeah.
good.
Juicy.
We're gonna have a lot to do over the holidays.
We're gonna be drinking gravy all month long.
Oh,
if you know
no.
what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean.
So yeah, Jones, I think that's interesting. PlayStation View was something they like tried out and simply said, "We give up. It's too hard to compete in this business." And I think it may reflect well on what the PS5 is going to be like, which is to say, a focus on video games.
Sounds good.
I hope so. I mean, 4, that's what their focus seemed to be with 4 when it was coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look back, there is some stuff where like
Oh,
they're
sure.
also talking about
Of course,
like their
that
own,
at that time especially.
Powers. Remember, like Powers was part of their initial
Powers.
sell of the PlayStation 4.
Powers.
Omar watches Power.
Yeah.
I saw season 1.
Did you really you watch that?
I watched all
I've
of it, yeah.
finished every episode.
So like, how wild is it to think at the beginning of the PlayStation 4 generation they were
Powers.
bragging about their own original TV series exclusive to like. It is funny to think about the failed things, but like, great. Move on.
The Powers was trying to be the boys before
The Boys?
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yep. Actually, Xbox had like their own like Halo series.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I forgot
not
about
the
all
Showtime
this.
one. They had their own Halo series that they were actually making.
And they talked about TV a lot when the Xbox One launched.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So
glad
much
we're,
TV.
Glad we're past that.
Yeah. Do you think we're officially past? Is PlayStation View like? Is this like that end? Is that like?
The end of their TV.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
glad that the early headlines for next gen is like ray tracing, HDR, like video game stuff.
Yeah.
No loads, like
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
I think they might. I just don't think they'll do it. It won't be from a company that's like a Sony company. We internally
They'll
are making
support
this. Yeah.
other third parties doing it.
Yeah. And I mean, might as well. It's
Yeah.
way easier to support Hulu than it is to make your own Hulu. It's,
Yeah.
it's just very, very expensive.
It's kind of like the Netflix Bandersnatch, which I think like we're gonna start seeing some really weird experimental storytelling cross TV cross movies cross video games, and like
Quantum Break.
Sony's definitely gonna want to be a part of that. No,
I was mad, man. I gave.
as evidenced by their latest game, they were like, let's not do that.
Yeah. I gave the Markiplier thing a shot. The like go on a heist with Markiplier.
Wait, what?
It's like a YouTube interactive. It's like Bandersnatch on YouTube, but like I was on my phone, and then you just get a black screen, and it's like YouTube, you dumb idiots. You don't think anybody's on their phone? It's like download the YouTube app. It's like no. Sorry,
Wait, you were-
Markiplier. Our
wait,
adventure
wait.
ends here.
You were using YouTube on your phone, not on the YouTube app?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't need a YouTube app.
I don't need a YouTube app.
I don't need
just-
None
that.
of you are using the YouTube app?
I
The
don't-
YouTube app is so much better
That's
than
so funny.
YouTube
I
on
search.
a browser on
You know what's really good
phone.
about it? It doesn't remind you to get the YouTube app when you use it.
Yeah,
No,
that is
then
probably the nice thing
no,
about
I think
it.
legit.
that's maybe my favorite feature.
Legit, it reminds you all the time to get YouTube Music app. It's annoying.
So generally, just with Sony, good news for PlayStation. It's definitely slowing down from last year, big time. But I think that's to be expected, and they're obviously looking
Holidays
forward
coming
to it.
up, baby.
Holidays coming up, and even like slowing down from this time last year.
And plus,
sure.
did some crazy stat just drop about how much Sony Games makes in relation to Sony, like Sony Pictures, Sony,
Yes.
TVs,
Right,
whatever,
right.
like all of their branches. Like that's a pretty profitable arm. So it's not only redoubling efforts for the PS5, but like the whole company's kind of looking.
It's interesting to look at
direction.
that because Microsoft, it's like, oh, dude, this is a tiny portion of. Well, I shouldn't say tiny, excuse me, but.
Right.
With Sony, it's just like this is our most successful branch. This is doing crazy. And I should before wrapping up with them also say that PlayStation Now has increased a lot. I think from like 700 to close to 1 million subscribers.
Oh. Well, they dropped the price by like $10, right?
They cut it in half to
Yeah.
$10. Yeah, and so yeah, people are checking out PlayStation Now.
Cool.
Good luck to you. Nintendo. Nintendo has sold at this point 41.6 million. I should say 41.7 million Switches. In the last quarter, since we last checked in on Nintendo, Switch Lite has launched. And so they sold 1.95 million Switch Lites to 2.85 regular Switches. Switch Lite, I think, is selling really well.
That's really good.
Yeah.
1 in
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
basically.
Even better. It's like 40%.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's $100
Yeah.
cheaper too, right?
Is
it
and
100?
it's more expensive. Switch Lite's more.
More than a Switch?
Is that incorrect? That is incorrect.
Switch Lite is $100 cheaper than the
yes.
Switch.
Yes,
Oh, I
they
didn't know
do,
it was
yeah.
all the way up to 100, but cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That is, Switch Lite is, again, you can't plug it into your TV. It is half the functionality of the Switch, but it's a successful product nonetheless.
Yeah.
And will probably continue to be so. Pretty neat.
Pretty neat.
Especially next year.
Another really fun thing is with Nintendo is that they'll do very specific software sales. And so we know specifically how many copies of Zelda and Fire Emblem has sold. So Link's Awakening, actually between those two, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Link's Awakening, which sold more?
Fire Emblem. No, wait. Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening sold more.
really?
This $60 Game Boy remake,
That
Yeah.
Zelda name, babe.
Yeah.
I just heard so much more about
3.13 million copies, dude. Oh.
Yeah, but you heard more about Breath of the Wild than you did any Fire Emblem game. So I think I wonder how many people that was their first Zelda, or maybe their first
Breath of
Zelda
the Wild?
in a long time.
Yeah,
They
a lot, man.
Or probably they invested more time in Breath of the Wild than they had any Zelda before.
Yeah.
So it was just like anything. Please.
It is the best-selling Zelda game. Yeah. And so do you, Jones, I mean, maybe before we even move on to Fire Emblem, is this like, you do that well with a Game Boy remake? Ocarina of Time has to be coming, right?
Again?
Again.
But Link's Awakening is kind of that weird gem. It's kind of like picking what random Marvel character deserves to get a movie, and it's like clearly something like Black Panther made sense at the time.
Yeah.
For a lot of people don't know this, but it's great, and I think will fit really well into the story, and I think will definitely find its place. I just think I always heard Link's Awakening was like that one that I hadn't, because I've only played like 4 or 5 Zelda games all the way through, and I just knew I had missed that, and so I definitely felt gaining a little bit of street cred, just now that I know more characters or know just a little bit about the story. If I was ever to talk to a Zelda fan or something, be like, well, I didn't play the original Link's Awakening, but I did play the new one.
Street cred?
Street cred. If anything, he loses it because he
all about
didn't play
street
the
cred.
original.
No, there's no such thing as Zelda street cred. I won't hear it.
yeah.
I don't want to be a part of that.
For those cool Zelda kids.
I
you
know.
those
I don't want to
kids.
talk to them. Wait, so am I alone there? Am I the only one who thinks that an Ocarina remake is extremely likely right now? Okay, clearly.
Depends on the Final Fantasy VII's success,
Oh,
honestly.
I don't mean something on that scale.
No.
No, I mean,
I think-
honestly, dude, I'm looking across at Resident Evil 2 remake and
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 remake, these huge legendary games being remade and doing well. Nintendo would notice that,
Yeah. Okay, so this is offensive. I'm going to call this Link's Awakening. I know this is offensive.
a remaster.
A low effort remake.
I hear you.
Comparatively, I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
I think
definitely
it-
comparatively
To
to
RE2?
Ocarina of Time. No, to Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Because Link's Awakening is the Game Boy is cute. Link's Awakening is cute. Link's Awakening remaster is cute. Ocarina of Time can't be cute. Like you can't be
You're all
charmed
in.
by
Yeah.
there are moments in Link's Awakening like we talked about on Friend Code where I was like I would go into a room thinking the puzzle was going to be way more complex than it actually was because it just looked so elaborate and beautiful. And I was like, oh, I bet I can bounce off these things. And it's like, no, you flip a switch and it moves. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's they try to make the Game Boy environments look a little bit better than they did, whereas you wouldn't necessarily be thinking that in the Game Boy. You'd be like, oh yeah, it's a block. It's literally like a gray area and then a black area. Whereas there's just more going on. It's a more dynamic game. And considering just where it ranks, just with everybody's fandom, it's like you have to do some Final Fantasy VII level stuff to it.
So then I would say if we have those expectations,
All in or nothing.
then I don't think it's likely. No. Because Nintendo is just rewarded for, I shouldn't call it low effort because I realize artistically there is something there. There is a lot of effort there. Maybe just budgetary I'm talking, but
I don't know. Can't I go the other way? Can't it just be faithful? It's a pretty faithful remake of Link's Awakening.
that's my whole problem with it. No, it is not.
I think that's cool, dude.
No, it is not.
It's like taking this classic revered game and like not messing with it too much so people like Jones and myself that never played it
Yeah.
can enjoy it in 2019 and hopefully recapture some of that magic.
Yeah. So I would say then that the next remake is something on that scale, and then not Ocarina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the amount of effort they put into Link's Awakening was perfect for Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And wouldn't have worked for Minish Cap or Ages or.
I wonder if
based on
they'll
just what I
do
know
the
about those
Capcom
games.
ones,
Yeah. We're just
the Oracle
Ages.
games.
Yeah.
Or Minish Cap.
What Seasons and Ages is what
Yeah.
they're called. Yeah. I think I would love that, honestly.
Yeah. I think a lot of people didn't play those either.
Yeah.
Tell me, honey's
That I
been
know of.
talking about some like trilogy, Zelda trilogy, the original remake. Or
Don't
something.
listen to
of
when
one
he
to
starts
twelve.
that.
One,
Just
two
don't
is
listen to him.
Throwing wild Zelda theories.
He's
out there.
referring to one interview from a long time ago. Just like, don't listen.
That's what's frustrating about Konami is that Symphony of the Night remaster money is just sitting there. You know, and they're like never gonna cash in.
They just keep re-releasing.
That was
it
this
over
year,
and
I
over.
think, that they re-released it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, get new voice actors, redo the music.
Oh.
redo, you know. Oh my god.
I'm thinking like Bloodstained.
Put it on Switch and everything. Yeah.
Why remaster perfection though? You know.
You know what I would want then actually is I would want it to look animated. I would want it not in 3D, but to have like this really cool animated look to it, like
That
the
would
concept art.
piss
Like
people
2D?
off.
Oh, if it looked like the concept art, that's
Yeah.
like my dream.
Yes.
For a Castlevania game to look like that.
Would that make people mad?
I mean, I feel like anytime the art style is radically different than what it originally was, there's going to be a
I mean, Kyle didn't
bunch
play
of
Link's
people that are
Awakening.
angry. Yeah, Link's Awakening, same thing. You're pissed.
True. True. It's fair. Fire Emblem Three Houses still 2.29 mil. Still will soon be the best-selling Fire Emblem game
Surprise.
of the
Put
franchise.
it on Switch.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's that simple because we're also not talking about Astral Chain. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as simple as, just put a Nintendo game on the Switch
a
and it'll
Nintendo
sell millions.
first-party game
Yeah.
that has a history, not a new IP.
Yeah, Astral Chains. So.
Like Fire Emblem's been around for a long time.
Yeah. This is the peak of it. We're witnessing the peak of Fire Emblem, which is
And
crazy.
I think it's only one game this time too that might.
I think that
contribute
helps
to that.
so
Yeah.
much, dude. Fates was such a silly idea to make that two different
Fates of
games.
Conquest. Yeah.
3 basically.
It could have been maybe 3 games at a point.
Which one?
This Three
That's,
Houses.
when they announced it, that's what
Yeah.
I assumed,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. And I'm maybe that was an original intent. I'm so glad it is one game. Hey, keep going.
Yeah.
I wonder if it is as simple as just put any Nintendo franchise on the Switch. It's gonna be the best, like Kirby, right? Just like, wait, what? That Kirby game, really? And it's just like, yeah, man, Switch is just huge. And then sometimes it just doesn't click with other franchises.
I think it depends on the quality of the game. I haven't finished Fire Emblem, but I know a lot of people like it. Like, I don't think it's a bad Fire Emblem game, what I've heard.
Right. Oh yeah, a lot of people love it, dude.
It would be fascinating to look at the Switch when all is said and done and we move on to like officially another console to look at what franchises didn't for whatever reason.
We'll be talking about like Daemon X Machina.
Yeah.
Well,
they-
but again, like the things that were, you know, because that like Animal Crossing is just such a huge box. I have yet left to tick. You know,
Oh, yes.
and Metroid, you know, like on the console, and so it's like those are huge question marks that I think there's just dollar signs attached to. It's like that excitement, that curiosity, is just going to bring people to it no matter what.
And
So it's
we
interesting when
just-
that doesn't work.
We just got a Luigi's Mansion today, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
I bet that's gonna do really well.
Probably the best-selling Luigi's Mansion. So
Oh sure.
Records are made to
Yeah.
be broken.
3DS sold a lot of games.
Panel. Will Luigi's Mansion 3 sell better
Yes.
than Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U?
how much did it sell? Do you know?
Yes, it will.
You know what? We could actually look it up because Nintendo makes those numbers public. Yeah.
It will.
You think so?
Yeah. The
I-
Wii U, how many people had Wii U's? Like 13
10
million or something?
10, like topped around
Yeah,
10, dude.
yeah, they're-
I think it was 13.
Oh,
Luigi's
okay.
Luigi's
Yeah.
gonna beat it.
Devour
Yeah.
them.
Friendly
Cursory
wager there.
Googling says 3D Super Mario 3D Land. Land?
I want
World.
Okay, one moment.
Okay.
World.
Yeah.
I love Land. I love that game.
Yeah, man, land all day.
God, I love
port,
that game.
port that game. So yeah, Nintendo, cool stuff. That was basically it from them. I got a lot of stuff from EA. I think EA has some interesting stuff going on.
Yes,
Um,
dude. Give it
Wait, what do you want to talk about? Ryan?
remasters.
Yeah.
Give it.
Oh yeah.
Give me Mass Effect. Give me Dead Space.
Yeah, they've kind of finally said we're gonna do that
Finally.
because they've been pushing back on remasters for a long time.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they weren't clear about what they're going to remaster, right? But they said what fan beloved.
Yeah.
I might have that
I
quote.
just think of
even.
like the Shenmue HD collection that came out, 1 and 2, and how nice it is when you have this one package of a franchise where you can like carry over your progress. And I'm just thinking about some Mass Effect trilogy where you can just carry all your saves over. Just so nice. We need it.
Okay, Ian
I've been
has the
waiting to play
update
it for
for
that.
us. This just
There
in.
it is.
Apparently 5.83 million units worldwide.
For Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, as of September 30th, 2019. This is according to Wikipedia, so, you know.
Oh, no, I mean, like, that is the number. Nintendo's super accurate about those. So, do we believe Luigi's Mansion 3 can beat 5.83 million?
It's a lot.
That's
It'll
a lot,
get there,
actually.
though.
You think so?
It needs time, but it'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks good,
I'm
man.
wondering, yeah.
It's coming out on Halloween. I hope so. Hope so, Luigi. All right, Huber.
Tough call to get there, though.
I found their 4 bullet points for fiscal year 2021. And this is one of those. Okay, so here's what EA wants to do fiscal year 2021.
Get in the game.
Get in the game. Add at least one more sports title to their annual slate.
What?
I think it's NBA. Because they cut out, another thing is they cut out NBA this year.
Yeah.
And so I think they're like just referring to NBA back in.
I hope it's like bocce ball.
Yeah,
Or
man.
like curling or something.
Dude, NBA Street.
Table tennis.
NBA Street, bring it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Just stop doing NBA Live and just go
Just-
back to the street.
Honestly.
Go back
Just
to the
stop
street.
doing live.
Snowboarding.
Which is really sad. Like NBA 2K is ready to be dethroned with all their microtransaction BS.
They're asking
all
for it.
NBA Live has to do is come out with like a friendly, competent basketball game, and they can't even do that.
Electronic Arts, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Dude, NBA 2K, the best-selling game in the U.S. this year. Like, I just wouldn't want to take it on head-to-head.
Yeah.
So
even with the microtransactions, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. They're just
Yeah, I
buying
feel like
it.
a lot
they're
of
just
honest
buying
doesn't
it.
care.
Yeah. So, like, it is. You cannot make a straight basketball game and hope to beat them with their own game. Go to the street. Go back to street. Which is funny because 2K has its own street mode this year. Okay. We'll deliver. Oh, sorry. We will launch Medal of Honor VR. We talked about this on this podcast. Sounds like EA, like, to make that a bullet point, though, it sounds like they're not just, like, shuffling this out.
Yeah.
This is EA trying VR, which is kind of exciting.
Because Respawn, right?
Because Respawn. Respawn's making that game, yeah.
Respawn's doing really well right now, so optimistic about that.
We'll deliver some exciting remasters of fan favorites.
Nice.
Including, do you know what they include?
No.
The Command & Conquer game we've already disclosed.
Oh, okay.
We've
I didn't-
already disclosed.
Yeah, what? They're remaking a Command & Conquer game?
I guess.
Last I've seen was that horrible mobile
Yeah,
game from
what?
2 E3s ago.
Yeah.
Maybe they're counting that.
And we have 2 new unannounced EA partner titles coming from third-party developers. So fiscal year 2021 is not. It's not the year of 2021, right? So we're talking about next year, basically. I think we won't see a new EA IP at the new console's launch, is what I gather from that. Maybe that's inaccurate. Maybe that's not
I
fair.
can see that.
But yeah, that's what they're planning to do over the course of the next year.
New Battlefront game next year.
No, they said they won't do a new Battlefront game next year.
Why?
They're sticking with Apex Legends for the next year.
Oh, it said? Okay.
Yes.
Apex.
Interesting. I wonder if DICE will do something else for them then, or if they're just done.
I
feel
think
like the
DICE is
whole-
hitting the old chalkboard.
Yeah. And
hard.
I feel like there's still been a lot of support for both Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2.
Right.
So I feel like that's keeping them busy for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, what they said, like last time we talked about EA, that they're not going to make a Battlefront 3 because Battlefront 2 is still doing so well.
Yeah.
The community is still there.
Yeah. People that play it now really like it. I heard it's actually in a very stable, pretty solid place.
I saw a costume update. I think I got an email or something, and they were like, all right, at long last, the medal ceremony Luke costume will be coming to Battlefront. You know, just him with the medal,
jacket?
with the jacket.
Yeah, the medals on.
That's so dorky.
It was like a skin that people were like,
I love it. He brings the medal to the battlefield. He's too proud, man.
That's some mental damage, though, dude. If
It
that
is.
metal Luke kills me, I'm pissed.
yeah.
Metal Luke.
But also, if I kill Metal Luke, dude,
Give me that medal.
medal falls.
take your honor. And so, yeah, it kind of gives me the impression that even a smaller chunk of a huge game that is consistent, that is consistently spending money on your game, is more valuable than a game that sells millions and millions and millions and millions on day one, right? Like, it gives you that idea, especially if you look at their breakdowns of live services. If you look at Sony's live services, Activision's, they're crazy. Live services is where people are making money. So, yeah, it makes sense that they're not doing a new Battlefront game next year, not a new Battlefield game next year, and that they're doubling down on Apex Legends.
Making that money, baby.
It must be making that money.
put them up.
Why
Yeah.
not? Game's
Yeah.
thriving.
Yeah. Well, because it didn't seem like it was thriving because it exploded on day one and then just kind of cratered.
Yeah.
But even that crater, the bottom of that crater is still super high.
Yeah.
Is basically the case.
Yeah,
with Apex
because we're
Legends.
like we're not there. We're not in the trenches playing the game. Dude. We don't know. This game's probably it's still huge. Obviously, we don't know. It's like League of Legends, dude. We don't even think about League of Legends.
Yeah.
Biggest game on the planet.
Yeah. It's so true.
Well, it's not bigger than Mario
Right.
or Pokemon.
Money-wise.
Sad though for them to look at the the narrative investment that they made with Anthem, and we know that project went wrong for all sorts of reasons, and then look at how little narrative there relatively is. There's a lot of character-based lore in Apex, and they were like, oh well, let's never write stories again. That was a big dumb mistake, because I could see if you're a suit, that's the that's I put all of those factors into an equation, and that's the answer. I hope
all
not.
of our hopes are on Fallen Order being an awesome single-player game.
Yeah.
All of our hopes.
All of our EA hopes.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they botch this, like, come on. EA.
Give me the scenario in which they could botch this. What is the botch?
Pay to
For
win.
this, dude, the story is just utter trash. Like, I
Force
don't.
Unleashed 2.
Yeah, dude. Or even to me, like, I didn't really care for Battlefront's story at all.
Dude, I
like,
quit on it.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I saw some people online, like, referencing it recently. They're like, oh, the story's pretty cool. And I just did not like it.
Man,
at
I got
all.
I got the game for like $10 on a sale, Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
In the second chapter of this game, first chapter is kind of cool.
I think I just played the first chapter.
Yeah, maybe it's the third chapter. You're hanging out with Luke Skywalker and he's chopping up bugs,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it sucks.
Chopping up bugs.
I don't want to see this version of Luke Skywalker chopping up bugs. I'm out. And it's so funny because I'm sure, when developing this game, putting the time in, getting the likenesses down, were so sure that their players would be loving this moment of the game.
Yeah.
And it's just the opposite.
Luke, dude, it's
Oh,
Luke.
look, God, he's got it lit up. Look at him chop away, Luke.
Yeah, we're talking Luke at his prime.
Yeah.
Post
Prime.
Return of the Jedi, like
Yeah.
the strongest he'll ever be.
Don't we have
Shopping
like,
bugs.
4K gameplay of Cal Kestis like chopping bugs up? It's
Yeah, that's not really
it's just part of what you do with the lightsaber.
Yeah, you just got to chop bugs. Oh, boy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about this game. I haven't played it or anything. But, like, what do you think would be more damning for Fallen Order? Would it, if it were boring, like, if the gameplay were boring or not fun or bad, but the story was good, or if the story was bad, but it's really fun to play? Like, what would be worse?
I think if it's not fun to play, that'd be worse.
Right. Yeah, I
That's
totally
what
agree.
I think.
'Cause
Too.
yeah,
Like,
to
the
me,
story
there's
could
already
be banging,
enough
but
dumb
if it
Star
sucked
Wars
to
stories
play-
out there.
Yeah. Especially too if you want to try to correct that by adding more content down the road. It's like if I didn't like playing it, I don't care how
Right.
good your story is or what character comes up or whatever.
So I think that's how EA botches it, if they botch it.
But at this moment, I feel like what we've seen and what we've heard from hands-on impressions, like, seems pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
Seems pretty good. So my only real concern now for how they could botch it is the story.
Yeah.
Totally.
That it has just some dumb ending where it's like Qui-Gon never died.
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing they could do.
Like Darth Maul showing up.
Yeah.
Or like it ends and it's like the beginning of the DLC. You're like, oh god, and so then you got to get all this extra stuff to finally then get through it. But then it's like, and which
No DLC
which I think
announced, by the way. I don't think they're going that route with
no,
this
yeah,
one.
again, it's just that suddenly pops up. But like, I think even Odyssey did a good job. Like you were telling me the stuff that you did in Odyssey. I'm like, that sounds fun. I still feel like I ended that game. Like
Yeah,
I still feel like I got the ending I wanted. So it's when you can do kind of both at the same time. That's how you make that work.
EA's got a Need for Speed coming out this year too. Still,
Dude, this month.
Yeah.
It comes out in November.
so they have a Need for Speed and a Star Wars game.
yeah.
Primed.
That Need for Speed game is my toaster strudel. I don't have a lot of confidence in that one. Star Wars, yes, please.
2 Need for Speeds ago, I really liked the live action one. I actually really enjoyed it.
Wait, isn't it coming out before Star Wars?
Yes.
I believe
Star
a
Wars
week
is
before.
Like a week
yeah.
before, yeah.
It comes out on Death Stranding Day?
I think it does. Yes. Yeah, it does.
Oh, Need for Speed.
Yeah, November 8th.
All right. Hey, it could still be a hit. I did want to also touch on they're very excited about this. Oh, we're talking about live services. EA Access, EA Origin. They're up to 5 million subscribers on that bad boy.
Damn.
It was 3.5 million in May, so that means that going to PlayStation helped them out a ton.
Oh, for sure.
They're what'd they say? There's just like
Fresh meat.
yeah, that PlayStation 4, like it was fast. It was faster than the attach rate on the Xbox One. Though I think that's mostly because like
That's what
we're
EA's
used to
thinking.
it now. You know what I mean? I think we're used to like access. We're used to the Ubisoft thing. So when we were talking about EA Access on this podcast when it was first announced, it was a silly, goofy idea, and now people love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think there's just a lot of PlayStations out there, a lot of PlayStation customers. So it's not a huge surprise that like that many would join. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy.
On top of that, they're very excited that there's another untapped potential market.
What?
On Steam.
The PC community?
So
Fresh meat.
for another
meat, dude.
another whole pot of fresh meat.
So much fresh meat there.
Every time I think of EA, the only thing I think of are like 7 dudes in a boardroom smoking cigars. That's the image that always flashes.
Wow.
When I think of the EA, like EA pops into my brain.
Yeah. The PS2
I just think
is
of
so
like
different.
a scummy corporation.
Sports big, bro. It's like, this company's crazy. Now it's like, no, there's just a bunch of guys.
I don't know.
A bunch of people chasing after IP.
Yeah.
I do. I think of
Chasing
What
IPs,
everyone is
chasing
doing. It's just-
trends.
that's what they feel like.
Yeah.
to me
They hide it worse than other companies.
I see them in a well-lit boardroom. I think of Andrew Wilson, and it's just like, are our games good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just like there's 50 people at this table. They're like, are our games good?
It's well lit because it's on like the 30th
Yes.
floor. But at like 4:30 p.m., the sun just pierces right through it. So it's all glass everywhere. So that's why their glasses at work.
Yeah.
Like so they need the shades. It's so hot, the reflected glass.
We're making a lot of money. Are our games good?
Is it a service?
And the service is doing great. Yeah. Sorry, about Steam. Yeah. So all future EA games, it looks like, will be
Sick.
coming to Steam, starting with Star Wars on November 15th. Need for Speed not making the cut. Not getting that Steam release, I guess.
Jeez.
Yeah. Maybe eventually.
Yeah. Not a priority.
Definitely follow EA on Twitter if you're a Need for Speed fan, interested to see if it's getting that Steam release.
I don't appreciate this Need for Speed shade.
Because I mean, like, their EA Origins still exists. It's to me not a huge headline. It's just like, I can use my service of preference now. I can go to Steam if I want to get these EA games there. But yeah,
But with Steam and the remasters, I wonder if EA has the short list of stuff. They're like, we really don't want to do this, but if we have to, and like Anthem was that situation, like their last couple successes or like attempts, and they're just like, all right,
So if Anthem,
all right.
if Anthem was huge, you're saying like they
it
wouldn't
was
be
more than
forced
that. I
to.
mean,
Yeah,
it was,
yeah. I
you
get
know,
what you're saying. Yeah, that's
They've had
funny.
a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
Just kind of front facing because they still have these big successes that show up every year.
Yeah.
They still make a lot of money on FIFA, a lot of money on Madden, but
More money on FIFA and Madden than the year prior.
of course.
Sims 4 actually increased.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Year over
dude,
year.
The Sims is
And doubling down on
ridiculous.
Apex, it's like, I wonder what their upcoming events will be. I wonder what EA Play is going to feel like when it's just like about all of these games, everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's nothing
that
really
was like
new
when
to
we
announce.
went, dude.
I know that's what it was the beginning of that.
Didn't Katy Perry just like record her song in Simoleon? Did you see that?
Simslish, yeah.
Simslish, yeah.
Simlish. I think it's just Simlish.
Simoleons is the money. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's whole like YouTube playlists, man. A lot of musical artists
That's
actually
cool.
do Simlish tracks.
Sophia was chatting me banging tracks from Sims 4 this morning.
Awesome.
Can you play one?
I mean, I don't know. Do we have the? Are we allowed?
I mean, it's a video game.
Because it's video
so-
game music, we're allowed.
Let me try to
Nice.
find it again. It'll take me a little while.
Okay.
Keep going.
Oh, well, in the meantime, we'll talk about Activision, which didn't release their financial quarter data, but
Data.
they had a lot to say about the launch of Call of Duty: Modern
God.
Warfare.
Isn't it like the biggest?
It's the biggest in a lot of ways. Biggest selling digital opening in Activision history.
Yeah.
They're really stoked about that. Top selling new premium game release of 2019.
Premium game
hell?
release?
Yes.
Back it up.
Yes. A lot of qualifiers there, right?
What? What do they mean by it?
I think
What does that even mean?
I think that disqualifies Apex Legends.
Apex is not a premium game?
Right.
What-
Because it's
did-
not a $60 game.
So,
because
so it's a
free-to-play.
price.
Yes.
Premium means $60.
I think that's I think
I
that's the
guess so,
definition.
yeah.
there.
Like, is that their I want to know the corporate language around it though. When
Yeah.
in the corporate text, does premium mean $60 game, or
Yeah,
does it
like-
mean like
30 and up.
high end effort production?
Oh, it's
or
budget
something?
for sure. Yeah, like would Crash Team Racing at 40 count as
Yeah.
a premium game? I think it would.
okay.
I think there's just to distinguish it from free to play games. Premium. It set the PlayStation 4 record for highest digital sales in the first 3 days. Sold more units in the first 3 days than any other Call of Duty 3-day opening this console generation.
I have like 30 people on my friends list at all time that are playing this right now.
Wait, this is the banger?
This is a dope Halloween.
Halloween
track.
Town right here. Have you seen Halloween Town?
The Disney movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
I don't remember it being too fond of it.
Loved it. Loved it.
I thought we were getting a banger.
This is a banger.
This sounds like a circus in a
This
horror
is
movie.
like-
Dude. This
Yeah.
is it right here.
Halloween, bro.
This is a good Halloween track. To listeners, we still have our Halloween decorations up. Thank you for these, Ian. It's November 1st, if you're the first listener of this very podcast. But hey, it's Halloween vibes.
Still
We gotta
spooky
let
vibes
this-
on the first week.
Yeah.
They're lingering.
Yeah, they linger for a
Most
little while.
stores still have decorations up.
Lastly,
Christmas decorations.
oh, actually, I got 2 more bullet points from them, from Activision. These first ones were at the top of their press release, but there's one a little further in that I think is very funny. Biggest Call of Duty PC launch ever.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about why. I want to do their final bullet point. And this actually was not a bullet point. This was a point that they wanted to stress. They're really proud of this. These are the people in the well-lit room. 50 people at one table. With its blockbuster launch, in its first 3 days of release, Call of Duty Modern Warfare more than doubled the box office opening of Joker.
I love that. I love shots fired. No, I love it.
Can you believe
that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shots.
Somebody's like, we beat Joker? Are you kidding me? We beat Joker?
more than 7 times the box office of Maleficent, Mistress of Evil?
What?
So
Hot
funny.
damn, we beat Joker. Why? Why did Modern Warfare break these records?
Records are
The
made
end
to
of
broken,
a gen.
dude. More people
So
have
many consoles out
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Name
Call of Duty was
recognition.
sinking, man. Call of Duty, it was spent.
The name.
You know, we're always saying every year this is the last one. They're gonna start sinking.
Dude, no, we stopped doing that.
Yeah, we stopped doing that.
Crossplay? I don't know. I wonder how
Crossplay
much
now.
that
Crossplay
had to do with
huge.
it.
I bet
Huge, you think?
No, I bet it counts for like 1 or 2
It's
million, right?
modern
who wouldn't have bought it?
Warfare.
I think
the
the
Call of
title's
Duty,
huge.
a lot of people look back on fondly. Like, the most fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some 2 brothers that are PS4 PC snobs.
From a lot
just
of-
like, all right, finally.
Exactly. A lot of people I play with have been out for like 3 years.
Yeah.
4 years. A lot of people are coming back. Like Call of Duty does amazing every year, but even so this year, people that have been off for like 1, 2, 3, 4 years
Yeah.
are all coming back.
This whole console gen, but
Yeah.
like for best launch of any Call of Duty game this entire generation
was
is
Call
pretty
of Duty
nuts.
on the top 10 media franchises?
It was not.
Interesting. It's probably like top 20, right? It's got to be.
I wonder how many like strictly video games are in the top 20. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good question.
Call of
actually.
Duty Mobile turned that around.
I don't know if they got the merch money.
True.
I see some like Black Ops 4 shirts out there
yeah,
from time
it's
to time.
got to be
but
on like top.
Not like
Well,
Pudo.
but they never.
yeah, not a lunchbox.
There was never a TV
Yeah.
show. There was never a movie.
Yeah.
Like, there was a dumb Warcraft movie. You know, it's like they didn't even get that far.
If you think of the prominence of Hello Kitty, it's like it's not close to that.
Yeah, global phenomenon, dude.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like the going back to the roots part of it, right? Like Modern Warfare 3 is like, oh, okay, it's still Modern Warfare, I guess, yeah. But this one's like Modern Warfare. Soap is just a regular guy again. You remember Soap? It's like, yeah, I was
Captain
8 years
Price.
old. I played that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they did like World War II 2 years ago, but in between all that has been like so much future stuff.
Yeah, a lot of Black Ops.
Yeah.
Future
Yeah.
stuff. Infinite Warfare.
Yeah. Infinite, Advanced.
Not in the top 25.
Wow.
Call of Duty.
Are there any other video game franchises in that top 25, Ian?
A lot of anime, honestly.
Whoa.
Naruto.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z
Naruto?
is. They're not numbered,
Oh.
but it's like.
Let's hear 'em.
Hang on. I'll just run down the top 25. Okay. Let me cut to myself. Blah. Pokemon, Hello Kitty, Winnie the Pooh, Mickey Mouse, Star Wars, Anpan Man, Disney Princess, Mario, Shonen Jump / Jump Comics, Harry Potter, Marvel Cinematic Universe with 29 Bill, Spider-Man, Gundam, Batman, Dragon Ball Z, Barbie, Fist of the North Star,
Whoa.
21 Bills,
What?
Cars, Toy Story, One Piece, Lord of the Rings, James Bond, Yu-Gi-Oh, Peanuts, Transformers.
Huh. Jones, props for bringing up James Bond and Peanuts earlier then.
Yeah,
I would not, both of those would not have occurred to me.
They had Shonen Jump, but they also had like One Piece in there.
It's cheating.
Yeah, I'm like,
And Dragon Ball.
yeah, Dragon Ball and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cheating.
In here it says Shonen Jump / Jump Comics, and then it says manga underneath it. So that might
maybe
just be the manga
sales?
Yeah, maybe,
Crazy.
man. Ooh.
stuff. And then,
Get those
yeah,
volumes.
Disney Princess is its own.
Oh, but
I
One
wonder
Piece
what
it says
qualifies for
manga.
that. I guess just all those
Right.
movies.
Any Disney princess merch.
and plus
anything.
all the
says costumes underneath it. But
and
I
Cars being ahead of Toy Story. Cars being in the top 25.
Dude, Cars toys.
Cars.
Those
Sell.
toys,
Cars.
dude. Yeah.
Cars 3.
Toy Story's about toys, but the toys are weaker than the Cars toys.
What's the one with Michael Caine?
Cars 2.
Love
Cars
it.
2, yeah.
Love
Cars
it.
2.
Yeah.
Love Cars
Where
2.
he's the,
Love it.
He's the spy car.
Bold choice. Yeah.
Love
It's a
it.
bold stance.
Bold choice.
No, it is. Cars 2.
Hello, mate. Come with me.
Cars 1
Like
sucks.
at the Pixar
Cars 2.
prom, Huber's off in the Cars 2 corner, like with his drink. Loved it. Loved it.
Cars 2 fans over here.
One guy thinks it's Cars 3, and it's like, yeah, I thought, no, oh, wait, Cars 2? No, wait.
Hey, 3 was good too. I like 3.
This was cute
I like
because
those movies,
I
actually.
imagine
They're
that
good.
like Cars 2 is actually like a human being, and like Huber's like, Cars 2, will you go to prom with me?
I
Still
loved your
have
spy.
And
never-
she's like, no, I thought nobody would ask me. It's like really nice. It's a sweet moment.
Still never went on that Cars ride at Disneyland.
It is
Oh.
so
Looks
good.
awesome.
California
cool.
Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
It's actually a good ride.
Good theming.
Do it during the day. There are so many Disneyland errors, egregious errors you've made, my friend. I need
Well,
to
because I
correct
can
that.
only go
I need to,
once
like-
every
no,
3
you-
years.
well,
So
yeah.
when I go, I'm all in
It's
on
$130.
just.
I need
I'm
to-
all in
Yeah.
on just
Pricey.
Disneyland, Haunted Mansion, like the usual suspects.
I'm dipping into the Easy Allies pot into petty cash, and I'm going to take Huber to Disneyland.
We should all.
We
go.
may or may not record it,
should
but
all
I'm just tired of it, man.
Single rider line.
Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of October. El Fanis, Fantasy Critic. The end of the year is fast approaching, and that means that the 2020 season of Fantasy Critic is coming soon. Before that happens, we're looking to hear your thoughts on the first year of the site and suggestions for improvements we could make going forward. Head on over to our subreddit at r/fantasycritic to talk about the upcoming features and get involved in the future of the site. Our gifted sponsor is SOS Children's Villages. Children are at the heart of everything SOS Children's Villages does, regardless of where they are in the world. SOS Children's Villages is the largest non-governmental organization dedicated to the long-term care of orphaned and abandoned children across the globe. For more information and to donate, the link is in the description. Hogue Law, business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side, or at least that Good Business Lawyer's YouTube and podcast series, Virtual Legality. This week in Virtual Legality, Hogue discusses Star Wars and the continuing tumult at Lucasfilm, why a new NCAA football game is not imminent, Epic's case against Fortnite leakers. Check it all out at youtube.com/HOEG Law or on your favorite podcast service. Beaten Down Brian. Car Keys Express. If you need a replacement car key or a remote, check out carkeysexpress.com/store. Use the coupon code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 10% off of your order. They are proud sponsors of Easy Allies. And our mega sponsor, ViewSonic. Ever wonder what a gaming monitor from Tron might look like? How about the most Star Trek monitor ever? The new XG27 series from ViewSonic Elite is finally dropped and looks fantastic. Featuring innovative nano IPS technology, a 1 millisecond response time, and 165Hz refresh rate, your monitor of the future has finally arrived. Visit viewsonic.com/elite to learn more, and for giveaways and updates, follow at ViewSonic Gaming on Instagram and Twitter. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors. Hold on a second. Just hold on. Just hold on, Kyle.
Okay.
Hate to do this, but it's the wheel keeps turning. Sun rises, the sun sets, and it comes a time when we have to say goodbye to a beloved sponsor. A beloved Easy Ally sponsor will not be returning for the month of November. Mr. Hogue of Hogue Law.
Oh.
Will no longer be an Easy Ally sponsor. That's it. That was it right there. Last virtual legality read. Nothing but good things for Hogue. He's just moving on to other things. So
Graduate.
Thank you, Hogue.
Graduate,
Thank you for
yeah.
being a sponsor. Thank you
Yeah.
for everything. Thank you for
Hogue.
Easy Living. Thank you for just being a part of Easy A. And helping out just on the back end. Definitely helped out with legal advice and tips over the years. So,
Has that been public before?
I mean, you see, I emailed the guy.
Yeah.
So
No,
we're
it's funny, like,
we're always talking about stuff.
It's part of the promo, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also talks to us about things we're confused about.
Yeah.
Thank you to our sponsors for funding Huber's trip to Disneyland. We appreciate that. This next story I think it's a quick one, but probably worth covering. Death Stranding this week was announced to be coming to PC.
Yeah.
Wasn't that already announced?
It
It was
Yes.
never
It was
announced.
never
It was
announced.
hinted
Okay.
That was the frustrating
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't I
Thank
just
you
say
for
it was?
clearing
They were
that
like,
up.
wait. He said that, and we're all confused.
It was very confusing. It was like originally when it was first announced, it was like, yeah, PC, PS4, don't worry about it. And then just like PC not brought up for a really long time. When, what, how, any of those things.
But it was confirmed that it was going to be on PC.
This week or before?
Before.
Before it was like an unwritten thing that it was going to be on PC. It was like, don't talk about
They,
it.
yeah.
It's like, why not?
Got it.
because Sony wants that cash money.
They want that cash money. So at least this week's finally been announced. Early summer 2020 coming to PC.
It's 505, right?
505 Games, the
Yeah.
publisher. Who's funny? They're on a little hot streak.
Yeah.
That is the publisher. They just did Indivisible, Control, Bloodstained.
Yep.
That's a hot publisher.
Hot
Yeah.
publisher.
Yeah.
They're moving up.
Those are
Good eye.
much
Whoever their publisher is a good eye.
good eye. Good eye. Good eye.
Yeah, good eye.
This is a way huger game than any of those that they published before, though.
Yeah.
I wonder what this deal is. I wonder what.
Why Sony's not doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious why Sony's not publishing on PC, right?
I mean, I feel like they're kind of moving that direction, though, of like their games will be on more than just their consoles
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah. This is going to make everyone wonder, right? Because this line was so blurry, people will expect Bloodborne on PC.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's
Maybe.
nothing not to wonder, like, wait, why not, though? You know what I mean? Like, for all of these now. So, obviously, Death Stranding was a different deal. It was
Yeah,
not the
it's not
same
first
deal
party.
as Spider-Man, right? It's not first party, but it seemed so first party that it's going to make everything confusing from now on.
I think you're right.
Maybe when they have like their own PC app thing, like PlayStation app,
Sure.
that like Xbox has.
I mean, PlayStation Now has an app, right? Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
play PlayStation games on your PC.
Yeah, but maybe it'll be like when it's like they'll reintroduce it with next gen or something like that.
Yeah, I hear you
Play,
there.
cross play, cross share, cross save.
You could do so much more with it. I agree, Brad.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if people
I feel like
really,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, they're just tinkering right now to me.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of cool headline. Early summer. Good luck to 505 Games.
I did see a lot of people that were
get.
frustrated though, and like I guess I was confused, and I never really thought that this was going to be exclusive for a long time. It's weird they're announcing it now. It's like this would
A
seem to be
week
something
before
like,
the launch of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That
December
is weird.
20th.
Yeah.
drop
That's
that
weird
little
that
thing.
it-
But hey,
yeah.
before hope you enjoyed it. If you're curious to play it again, or you don't have a PS4, it's coming to PC next year. And like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Because
like-
like let's say, I mean, we talk about pre-orders. If you pre-ordered it on the PlayStation Store, you're not getting that refund. You know, if you digitally pre-ordered this game and have it pre-installed, like you just bought it. You bought it already.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, come on. I would have loved that and good graphics.
I wonder if there's some weird push on behalf of Kojima Productions to be like, can we just at least want to let people know before
was
it
they
comes
who
out on
tweeted it.
PS4? Yeah.
Yeah. The tweet came from them.
So yeah, it just kind of muddies the well a little bit, and I don't know if that was smart for them to do that.
I feel like if you're the person who's mad that you bought it on PS4, you're mad because you want it on PC, but like, is that same person really waiting 6 months to play this?
Yeah, just enjoy your half a year.
Or,
Yeah, exactly.
or just
You get a
upset
half
at
a year
the
early. Yeah.
just exclusivity. It's just the next time Sony says something's exclusive, you know,
It's gonna be weird.
This changes what that means, how much
Okay.
value that has.
Yeah.
Did
know-
Sony ever actually say it was exclusive or no? Did we all
Console
just
exclusive?
They
assume?
might have said console exclusive.
Yeah, and they would like put it on the box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did some confusing things.
It just definitely felt separate from
Marketing,
Spider-Man,
maybe.
from like these other things. I don't know, just and maybe that was the fact that it's a new company, so it's like it's clearly
Sure.
a new deal. He's clearly just wiped the slate clean across the board.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This one didn't. This was more like a date for me. It was kind of like Red Dead. It was like right. I
Sure.
just need to know when.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
I
surprised. by
think
this.
I think the Decima engine too makes it like even more of a weird situation because
does.
Decima Horizon feels so first party. It feels so exclusive to PlayStation. So I wonder.
Interesting. Apparently, Kojima, when it was announced, said that it was a, quote, collaboration with PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, it is. As Hubert just said, that's a proprietary engine.
But it's not. It was never listed as exclusive on Sony's official site, apparently.
All right. Yeah,
Weird.
it was always a weird deal. So interesting.
Expect nothing less with Hideo Kojima.
Expect nothing
Weirdness going on.
Next story is like a future story, but this is one where I want the comments to chime in on this one. I want the panel to chime in on this one. This time next week, we will know fully all the details behind Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
We're going to know. Those games will be announced before next week's podcast. How much should we talk about it?
Probably new WoW expansion too.
Yeah.
There's the Diablo 2 like remaster rumor too.
Yeah, we're not going to be surprised by any of this stuff, by the
No,
way.
I mean,
it
it
all
got
leaked,
it got leaked.
crazy.
Yeah, it's all leaked.
Like Diablo
Like
4
we'll have an
especially.
idea
details,
of what it like
yeah.
looks like and plays like, but we know it's there.
ESPN had a huge scoop on Overwatch 2. Like, it's just
The
that's just
Overwatch
happening.
League stuff or something?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, not League, dude. Like, oh, did it leak? Is that what you said?
No. Like, what's ESPN talking about with it?
So Overwatch 2 is going to be PvE.
Oh yeah, why is ESPN? Oh, ESPN Games. I like immediately thought of like TV, like Sports Center, some dude talking about Overwatch.
Dude, it was ESPN Twitter account though.
Okay.
They had such a big scoop that
That's
ESPN
crazy.
Twitter was like, "We got it, Overwatch 2. Here's the logo." It's like, what? Logo sucks,
Super
by the way.
weird.
I
I
saw the
haven't seen
logo.
it.
Yeah,
Is it the
it's
orange
this-
2 off to the side? I couldn't
Yeah.
tell that was like a fan thing.
It's like it's honestly like Half-Life 2. It's
It
just
doesn't
like,
look like Overwatch 2. It looks a Fortnite situation. It looks
Chapter
like an
2.
Overwatch Chapter 2.
And honestly, it kind of sounds like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
based
might
off
be.
impressions. Yeah. And so, yeah, like obviously, 3 weeks ago, we had the whole conversation about Blizzard's response to the Hong Kong situation. And so I wonder what our community wants from us of coverage for these things, what we want to do.
Oh, I want what they do. Before Diablo, for anything that they announce, especially if we know about it already, that the answer to that question, what are they going to do at this?
I do think they're going to do
convention?
something.
Will there be protests? How do they deal with that? How much
Yeah.
access do those protesters have? Or are they going to say anything? Are employees going to say anything? You know, it's like, because that's the thing about BlizzCon is it's like days and days and days of
opening
panels
ceremony.
and people talking. So like those cameras, those lights are going to be hot for like 2-3.
Yeah,
Those
it's gonna
mics
be
are going to be on.
interesting.
And so is somebody going to say something weird? Like there was scandal at the last BlizzCon that had nothing to do with China, you know, so
It was cell phones,
they're
right?
always,
I can already imagine just the opening ceremony being like, no, we just want to we want to go back to our roots and bring back, the love of our games or something. So we're going to bring back like fan favorite franchises. Like you've wanted it. Here it is.
You don't think they will directly talk about Hong Kong?
I don't know if they'll say the words Hong Kong, but I think they will address it and also like it's back to this like E3 apology thing. They're gonna be dancing around it Bethesda style, dude.
Let's take a bet because I think
Yeah.
they'll say the words Hong Kong.
Okay.
ooh.
I don't
I
know.
really
dude.
do.
I don't think they're
I
gonna
think-
say those words.
I read a thing. I was trying to find it. I can't remember where I read it, but that employees and stuff were saying like we're just going to focus on games, keep our head down. We're still going to have Q&As. There are going to be protesters probably. It's all going to come up. We're not going to stop it from coming up, but I think my guess is at least that they're just going to focus on the games and hope everyone forgets about Hong Kong.
You don't think they'll directly talk? That's the way to solve
They
this.
barely directly talked about it as in an
Yeah.
apology.
I think they'll be like, if they talk about it all, they'll be like, we are aware of how you're feeling, your feedback, and like we're taking it into consideration, something like that.
And you think it'll be easy breezy?
In the meantime, we want to restore
Here at
our
Blizzard,
trust.
we listen to the fans or something like that.
It's gonna be all pandering, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna say
I
anything.
mean,
of
yeah, it's like every corporation, they're going to do that.
Sure.
Has a corporation ever done an apology well? Like
yeah.
earnest?
For sure.
Yeah?
BP.
For the oil spill?
Yeah. That's just the one that came to my mind.
Isn't
at
that
the
the South Park where they go, we're sorry?
But yeah, I mean, like it's somebody's career is to like make
Yeah.
apologies for corporations. Like they do it.
They always sound so like newspeak though. They don't. No one ever comes out and just like, hey, yo.
Yeah.
We like totally screwed the pooch.
Yeah, that's what I want
Like,
from
I want to
Blizzard.
hear
Well.
a human being, not written.
That is what I want, Ian. I want someone to come out like that and be like, "Yo, we're really I'm really sorry about this. We at Blizzard, we don't stand.
That's one
like,
reason
from
Ian,
the heart, dude.
That's one reason, Ian. I don't want everything to go the Nintendo Direct way. That's why I still love the lights and the suits, and like I cherish the amount of time it takes from Sean Layden to get from off stage to middle stage. Because I know he's just like get the speech done. So like I don't know. I like to see him sweat. I like to know that like the weeks he's just in his office are building up to that moment of him being like, okay, let me tell you all. Look at my face. Yeah. You can see the excitement on my face. It's like it's hard to fake that.
Yeah.
So I'll miss that if that goes away. If they just like oh, they just deep fake all the devs now. They're not even in those interviews. Like
there's a danger. There's a danger to it being live. We all feel that.
Of course.
Yeah,
and that's why there's a danger for it being like we've streamed for 3 days. We know what condition we're in. Like at the end of that. Like, even just during E3 where we're going home and getting rest. That'll be. I'll be tuning. I'll be more tuned into that BlizzCon than a BlizzCon. More than any in the past for sure.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
The day
I saw
this
the decorations
podcast goes
were up.
live.
I saw people tweeting about that.
Yeah. Those people are like, why aren't they talking about Overwatch 2? It's like, well, we recorded this on Thursday. Apologies. But also, do you want us to talk about that?
Yeah. And of course there are. Of course there are people that, yes, I do want us to talk about that. And we might potentially not talk about it as much as they want us to talk about that. But like one thing that I do want to bring up is, and one thing that's like terrible when situations like this happen, where I'm just like, that's frustrating that happened. There's a lot of people that are involved in this that got hurt. There's probably a lot of people at Blizzard that are getting blamed for it, that it's not their fault. But at the same time, I'm curious about what Blizzard's going to do. Very curious. I'm all eyes are on them. And so they are in a weird position, if anything, to make the wrong decisions. So then we know what the right decisions are, So when situations like this happen, like I try not to be the spectator slowing and stuff, because otherwise I wouldn't be that involved in a BlizzCon,
This is kind of one of those weird situations where I'm like, I'm not sure how, like, can they move past? Is this a thing where you can move past it? Like, no matter what, like, can they get back? You know what I'm saying? Like, BP was actually kind of inadvertently the right metaphorical analog for this, Kyle, because it's like, you could say sorry till the cows come home. You destroyed the ocean, And this is like, you can say whatever you want. The trust has been shattered. We know that you're just catering toward Chinese money, And it's like, how do they come back from that? I don't know. And I guess it's really just on how soon do we forget.
For me, though, like Jones was saying, I always try to think of the people working there that had no say in this.
People protesting
that
there.
like there are people covered up the Blizzard signs, like they get hurt from this too. So I'm, when I think of Blizzard, I think of those shady corporate assholes at the top, but also the people at the bottom that are like the in the trenches, like designing the game and making the game, like so
too big to fail.
Yeah, it's a
hard. Can't imagine a year without a BlizzCon or like not having a sequel to some of these franchises. Like they're not.
They didn't do
Overwatch
BlizzCon
too.
1 year. I forgot which year it was though.
Well,
they didn't really have much. But like, there's gonna be a lot of stuff at this BlizzCon, games wise.
Yep.
Because like they know after last year, especially.
And this was timed. This Hearthstone event was timed just far enough for it's just slipping out of the public eye. It's just the conversation is almost kind of moving forward. So BlizzCon's like they almost dodged the iceberg, like,
for sure.
To the point if it was just even 2 or 3 more months, it'd be like, oof, okay, you're in the clear. But
you
especially getting close to the end of the year because we're all in that mode of like, what happened this year? What were the big stories? And like, it was a humongous story. Where this industry of ours crossed to everybody, and like Shaq's weighing in on this, just a lot going on.
And Shaq had the right perspective.
Shaq had a very Shaq perspective.
What did Shaq say?
Like to paraphrase, like we're America, they're China, we have our values, they have their values. Like I respect them, but I'm going to hold up to mine. That's just kind of my stance and always will be. That was Shaq's stance.
Yeah, it's because Shaq, admittedly, in the introduction of his point, says, I'm going to go on a trip to China tomorrow, and I make a lot of money from China.
Yeah.
But they know, they respect my own thing, so I'm allowed to say whatever I want to. I forget what the Rockets, his name is, the guy from the Rockets, but he said, that guy was right. He just legit straight out said that. And we know that Shaq is going to be fine in China saying that guy is right? Like, Shaq does have that power.
Well, Shaq, more importantly, will be fine at ESPN. And that's the question is, will some Hearthstone guy who's like, even just makes a sideways joke that doesn't even say China or Hong Kong or anything, but everyone in the room knows what he just referenced, and you hear the room, and it's like, oh, well, I didn't say anything, but I can't take that gasp away that the audience just made. It's like there's a lot of gray area where stuff can where like Kotaku would be like headline.
Yeah. We all have to be as brave as Shaq is.
It's not easy to be.
It's not easy to be as brave as Shaq.
What if
That guy's got big feet.
I give it like a 5% chance, but what if Blizzard goes full the other direction and like specifically makes a whole bunch of jokes about it?
Oh
Like-
my God.
Like pro Hong Kong stuff. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome. That'd be so fun if they're just like making fun of themselves all BlizzCon for being like shills or whatever.
Man, I don't know.
That might buy them like a few points. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what the right thing to do is. The right thing to do is communicate and just talk and be open. Be
Yeah.
Shaq. They should communicate
Yeah.
with Shaq.
Talk about it.
Bring him on
Shaq
stage.
comes out on stage. They're
If
like,
they
Hire
just hire
Shaq as your speechwriter.
If they bring Shaq on stage, I'll feel comfortable talking about Overwatch 2 next week. You know what I mean?
Diablo 4?
Yeah, I'll be ready for it. It's now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
I like time capsules.
Do you?
Yeah. Not actual time capsules, but like podcast time capsules.
Oh.
No.
Like we're capturing this moment, how this feels right now. This will never feel again the same week after the week before.
You would bury a time capsule and then open it the next day. You'd be like, I'm over it. I already forgot what I put in there.
It's happening.
We got 2 comments right now that are time capsule comments.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Hey, allies. I'm writing this on October 31st, 2019. As you know, the review embargo for Death Stranding is tonight at midnight.
Is it?
You stressing, Jones?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are you all set? Is that review ready to go?
We had a lot of time. Yeah.
Nice.
it is done.
Kudos to the whole team.
Ooh.
And Ian cut the video.
Easy
Good job.
Cool.
Thanks.
Wait, so as people are listening to this right now, go to Easy Odds.
I can
okay.
be much more confident. Ian, cut that video.
This is tomorrow. You can watch this right now.
We're in the future.
Cool. I can't remember a time I've been more excited to read or watch reviews of a game than I am for Death Stranding.
And also, just Ian's in the room, which is why I thought of it. One of my favorite Ben Moore scripts of all time. A really, really
Persona
good Ben
5
script.
levels?
I actually
No, better than Persona. A really, really good Ben Moore script.
That's nice that you say that because I actually, after I cut your VO, I reached out to Ben and I was like, "This script is super well written. Really, it flows well. It's elegant. It's a beautiful script."
Hard
I
game
got
to review.
Best in the
goosebumps-
biz.
I got goosebumps from his script.
Ben Moore, best in the biz.
Also, basically
Sorry.
an impossible game to review.
Yep.
Two other review writers
Sorry,
at the
everyone.
table.
We're used to it. No, Ben Moore, best in the biz. I know
Wow. What a tease. Now I gotta
Don't watch it, dude.
I know, like I'm never gonna watch that until the game is done, but like, wow, I gotta
that. I went back and I watched the Ben's Persona 5 review after I beat Persona.
nice.
Here's the funny thing about having beaten a game that having beaten a game that I'm cutting the review for. I know it's really nice because I know what he's talking about in the things we can't show enough to show a thing that evokes what he's talking about without actually unintentionally spoiling what he's talking about. I know what
Right.
not to show to not imply. I would actually confidently say that our trailer is by far less spoilery than the
Yes.
trailers for the game.
Wow.
Yes.
Like by far.
Yeah.
Like
Even
that-
just from the script, I could tell.
I would
like,
say our review is not spoilery.
Okay.
I would. I like when he got to the story parts, I was like, oh, I wouldn't have done what he did. I would have just been like, so this happens.
But then
Kicks
people,
off this way.
nobody would be complimenting your review on a podcast.
They would not.
Yeah.
It would not be premium.
And like
Ben Moore is a premium
He's a
review.
review editor.
That
Premium.
is, dude. Yep. You get that Ben Moore byline, dude. You're paying a premium.
the trailers for that game are so spoilery. Don't watch them. They show stuff that we're
And they
not
just
even
had a new
allowed
one
to
like
show.
4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Bail. Abort.
Dark Timeline, one of our patron goals is access to Ben Moore's reviews. It's a tier.
What do you mean access?
He'll write a review for you or something.
So like you can see your reviews.
You can't watch any of Ben Moore's reviews unless
Oh,
you're.
I see.
unless
Oh,
you're,
that's
uh,
tier.
Oh, yeah. Good.
yeah.
Look, the Bloodworth reviews are free.
Yeah.
You get those on the ground floor. But if you want the Ben reviews, pay up. Okay, where was I? I can't remember a time I've been more excited to read or watch reviews of a game than I am for Death Stranding, largely due to the fact that so much of the game has been kept secret by Kojima and his team, and I just want to know if reviewers if reviewers whose views I tend to align with, like you guys and other select outlets, like the game. Have you ever had a similar experience with any other game? Love and respect, Joe. And before we dig too into that, there was somebody who wrote beneath it that's like, oh yeah, you know what? You're a time capsule too. Just to bounce off of Joe's comment above, I'm the complete opposite. I'm terrified of the review embargo lifting for Death Stranding. I've deleted Twitter from my phone. And for the past week, have been trying to train my muscle memory not to automatically bring me to Polygon or Kotaku 20 times a day in fear of seeing even the slightest new detail about the game. I don't want to see a headline that says, you can ride a kangaroo pouch in Death Stranding. I want to discover that on my own. I've been playing some older Dreamcast and Super Nintendo games recently, and the feeling of just diving into a game knowing nothing about it and experiencing it for myself has been so refreshing. This isn't really a question, just another point of view that may be useful in discussion. Can't wait for November 8th. Long respect, Max.
This was the this was the weird thing to me is like, yeah, they've shrouded this game and guarded it so zealously, kind of, except the trailers are really spoilery. But like, just to have the review embargo lift a week before the game comes out, it seems kind of pointless to guard it so heavily and then just let everyone know what everyone thinks of it before it comes out, you know? It's strange. I mean, I know they're trying to build the hype, but yeah.
Here's a controversial take. They're trying to build the hype for reviewers. You know what I mean? Like, the audience of the secrecy can sometimes just be the people who are giving it the score.
Yeah. I mean, in the review guide, you know, like they were saying all kinds of stuff about, they wanted us to have it really early so that we didn't get spoiled at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're the special babies. Yeah, it's a little crazy to me. But yeah, I think also the secrecy, it was totally a part of the marketing plan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you gave the game's synopsis 2 years ago, I think that it would have been really difficult to sell the game.
Yeah. Also, it's a weird, like, it's a tough game to spoil in a weird way.
It takes a while.
But also just like,
have a seat.
but also like, I could tell you about the story and it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't really spoil what. I'm not going to say anything, but like.
We're talking too much about Death Stranding, dude.
Okay, so I do want to say to our audience, though, we have 3 people on this podcast who have finished the game.
Yeah.
Brad has, Huber has, Ian has. Jones and I are very early.
It's a game I don't want to talk about at all until the public has finished it.
That's a special thing about this game,
I don't want to
right?
look at anyone.
I can
don't
steer
want
the
to
conversation toward just reviews. Because it's interesting. I'm kind of like on both sides of this because I've never, as like prolific as I am about review construction, I've never like a review has never convinced me to buy a video game. I either just, you know, like there's so many games I want to play that I'll never afford or have time for. So it's just like I'm pretty good on like the stuff that I know I'll like. Even like Greed Falls, like I think if I spend $60 on something, I think I would dig it. And like haven't watched a review, haven't even seen a trailer. Yeah. I've just heard enough people talk about it, and then the things that they talked about are things I generally look forward. And just kind of the way that game is selling, like just aligns with what I would like. But any game I'm reviewing, I cannot wait to see what everyone else thinks about it. But intentionally, I'm gonna wait until that embargo. So it's just like that feeling of having to drop that in the well. Days Gone was like, let's do this. Like, especially about 60% through Days Gone. Like, I cannot wait to see what anyone else thinks about this. Because I bet there's some people that are gonna flip for this game. That's what's fun. Someone always gives something a 10. Like every game, something's like at least 75% or higher. Someone gave it a 10. It was someone's 10. And that's always fun, like to read those or like find that like 35 and like, whoa, read that. Like, this guy's biased.
I'm chomping at the bit to hear what people think of this game.
Oh, yeah.
To Joe's question, Resident Evil 6, I was really waiting for that review embargo, like pins and needles, really waiting because it was like a new era kind of after Wesker.
Yeah.
I remember the moment, actually. It's really weird because I was interning at G4.
Great.
And the review embargo lifted that day when I was like working there. And I can remember going to like GameSpot or someone, I forget what website, but I remember seeing the first review and it was like a 7. And like Resident Evil 5, 4, obviously all Resident Evil scores very well usually.
Yeah.
So 7. I was like, what? And I remember like concerned, dude. I was like, 7. They might have even given it a 6 or something. But yeah, I couldn't wait for that review.
I would think MGS4 for me.
Oh, sure.
I remember really waiting for those reviews. Yeah. And I think it reviewed pretty well. I ended up buying
Yeah,
a PlayStation for
I
that
think it got
game.
a 10 on IGN.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I remember if I want to say 13. I was just so curious.
Ooh, that's a good
of
one.
What people thought
That's
of
a
this
really
game.
good one, yeah. Ian, you had one?
GameSpot gave it a 4.5.
4.5. It was something insane. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah, that'd be
Pretty bad.
alarming.
Yeah.
4.5.
Where I
dude.
was shocked. I was like, what?
And you're like, hey, I need to go home.
I was like, what happened?
I
I was like, this can't be right.
I don't think I can work today.
I feel sick. I was like, what the
You still played it though, right? The
yeah.
moment you got
Yeah,
access
of
to
course,
it, you just
yeah.
hammered through it.
Yep.
But you ended up hating it.
Yeah,
RE6?
it started okay.
Yeah.
I can remember. You remember that, dude? I was like, I can remember Brad actually being like, "This is okay, right?"
Because it was like
The Leon.
the Leon like in the dark town,
Yeah.
like lights off, dude. Just
Yeah.
straight zombies.
Yeah.
But then like the game just progressively.
Yeah.
It just goes down.
Yeah.
The entire way.
Yeah.
It's like Goliath, dude. Just.
Yeah. Brad like 7 times in the beginning, dude. Was like, "This is pretty cool."
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Because you go to
Then-
like the school and stuff.
Yeah. Like in the town and everything
Yeah.
like that. Man, I just
You're in like denial.
Yeah, it's funny. It's cool. It's cool to have another game like that with that big question mark on it.
Yeah.
And these were all bad games though. Almost every one. Well, MGS4,
Yeah.
but they were all big question mark things.
It's exciting. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I mean, again, just that from announcement to launch is like just magic for me every single time. I'm always so curious. That's why I get so sad when games just don't happen or something gets announced. Nintendo announces some tech that doesn't amount to much, or even something like the Kinect gets, like shut down. It's like, oh, damn. I know there's some people that were interested in that. I know there were projects that were maybe like in development. Like, I'm just so curious about seeing all these things being realized. The fact of FF7 remake is happening. Like I don't need to be a 7 fan,
Yeah.
to just feel that electricity.
We know you love the marketing.
down.
Especially
yes.
that. Well, yeah, especially that. Boy, that embargo day. That's gonna be. Oh boy.
Oh, no. I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see the 10, dude.
I'm gonna live.
I don't want to see the 7. Somebody thinks they're cute and gives it a 7, dude. It's like, I don't want to see it.
It's not as good as you think it is.
The
It just
origi-
exemplifies problems that were already there.
How many reviews will say the original is better?
Yeah.
Very few.
None, I would
You
say
know what you
none.
should do? Go to a game store, get a PS1. You're better off.
Though I actually, hey, if it's a 7, give it a 7. I don't mean to be like
Yeah.
dismissive of that.
Love 7s.
This one's interesting. This is an interesting perspective. I like this. A nice take on this. Whenever I listen to a radio show, they're just desperate for takes. If somebody's calling in, they're like, "What's your take, though? What's your take?"
Make the show spicy.
Do you listen to Stryker and Klein now? It's
No.
my new favorite radio show.
What is that?
Strike. Do you know Stryker?
Is this
K-Rock?
like new Kevin and Bean thing? Or?
So it's actually during rush hour, which is really nice. That's why I listen to it a lot. But
Yeah.
Stryker's been on K-Rock for like 15. He's the dude.
Okay.
He has a guest
Stryker.
now named Klein, who's like older with kids. I think Stryker might have kids too, but Klein is like older, so there's like that dynamic. And just really good radio show. They do a lot of random bits that you would love.
They do random bits?
They did LA Wars, like 2 things that are very LA, like which one's better, and people would call in.
They have Or Wars?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Stryker and Klein.
Sports radio is what I listen to.
Nice.
So it's always just sports talk. Hey, allies. Chris from Western Australia. There's an interesting conversation to be had about the quantitative output of studios this gen. Why the conversation now? I suppose many are casting an eye back on what was while looking to the future. Video games are a behemoth of a production, multi-year efforts, hundreds upon hundreds of developers, and what has seemed to be longer and longer dev cycles. This is evident by the reduction of number of titles released from many in the industry like Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Rockstar, Sony Santa Monica, Rocksteady, Square Enix. You're right. The more we, the community, push for visuals, features, size, the inherently longer these titles will take to create, probably. I'm certainly not lamenting this reduction, as this generation has brought us some of the finest experiences in our space to date, even more so given my ever-growing backlog. A handful of tremendous titles is better than a glut of mediocre ones, surely. Almost every title released seems to be worth our time. What are your thoughts on this subject, panel? There are many facets of this discussion. I'm sure the listeners will appreciate whatever angle you choose. Thank you. I will say this, though. we will see the rise. Oh, sorry. I will say this, though. Will we see the rise of AA gaming next gen? I'm feeling a rustling in the bushes of the space.
Dude.
Love and respect, y'all. Keep up the fantastical work, Chris.
Yeah, man. AA games.
Greedfall.
Greedfall and Plague Tale.
Plague Tale,
Hellblade.
Vampire, Sinking City,
Yeah.
like a lot of spooky games that
Yeah,
I
good
was,
stuff.
I like just briefly dabbled in. I do want to say one thing though, because I got my boy Huber here, and I was thinking about this the other day, just this weekend. Because I was hanging out with friends that have invested more than I have in Grand Theft Auto Online, and that game, GTA Online, man, is so insane. It's so crazy. And I reminded them, and I could just it kind of like hit the room. These guys are playing like a ton of GTA 5, like. 3 GTA games came out on PS2. 2 GTA games came out on PS3. They skipped the PS4.
Yeah.
Like we think of 5. This gen was not this gen. Like that was just a remaster.
Yeah.
Or just an upgrade.
And that's what I think is interesting. I think a lot of people look at this perspective, they start that thing as a negative. Like, hey, it takes too long to make games now. But it's so really interesting to say, like, but the games that come out are really good.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting take on that.
And I think also clearly, like, there's only just some devs that can do that.
Yes.
CD Projekt Red, Rockstar, used to be not Bungie. Hello. Not Blizzard. Hello. Sorry, Mass Effect.
BioWare.
Too many Bs.
many Bs.
Like that's the sad thing about BioWare is we thought they were, they could hack that. Like they seemed to, that was their thing. Not only
Yeah.
something they were good at, that's what they did.
BioWare put out 3 games this generation.
It's
Yeah.
weird that Rocksteady only has 1.25 games this entire generation.
Wait, what's the quarter?
But Arkham VR.
No, not
It's not
fair.
a full game,
Not-
dude.
You know
You
what?
beat
It's
it in
not,
a
though.
sitting.
Is it even premium?
It's not a premium. It's not a premium release. Like one game. And it's weird because I think of when Arkham Knight came out, like how good that game looks. It's one of the earlier games in this generation, how good it looks. Like I kept thinking like, oh my God, their next game is just gonna be so good looking.
The
and
rain
it
on
never,
a cape.
Yeah, and we didn't, it's gonna be next gen now. So
Yeah.
it was.
Is that a bad thing? Is this something that needs to be fixed?
No. Like, part of me is obviously saddened. Like, I want more Arkham. I want more. I want to play another Rocksteady Batman game so bad. But, like, I get it. They nailed it. Games take so much time. There's just so many games now. Like, I think because there's so many games, when a game from a beloved studio comes out, it's more special. It's a special moment.
Yeah. I think of like, you can think of the last generation, and it's hard to. There were just a lot of kind of like bummer games. Just they consistently put out games that are just like, okay. You have a gun. You have a third-person perspective. Yeah, and you know what sucks is they're not filler. It represented 3 years of a full office's lives, right? Yeah. But I kind of like this perspective of like, hey, but they come out great. These games take forever, but when that Rocksteady game comes out, if it isn't a games as a service trash thing, it's going to be very, very good.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, who does both? Who puts out a lot of games and they're great is From Software.
That's right.
Fair, dude.
Dark Souls 3,
Crushing this gen, dude.
You have they had Deracine, they had Sekiro, they have Elden Ring coming out this gen.
Did they win this gen? If we're going by quality and quantity, like
No.
they won, right?
No, Ubisoft won. Ubisoft won this gen. Sorry.
Wait, what
do you mean,
Ubisoft
sorry?
game's better?
Yeah, no Ubisoft game is better than a From Software game. Like
I'm not saying
objectively.
that. I'm not saying that.
You're
but
saying in total.
I'm saying for the
Ubisoft.
amount of stuff they released to how good all of that stuff was
But
and how much money it made.
But
This is tough.
everything
This is
from
tough.
released was amazing.
Ubisoft just devoured this
So it's
generation.
5 because From has 5 hits. We're saying, right?
Yeah, Dark Souls 2.
Going back to Black
3.
Flag.
Deracine's not like
Black
that.
Flag came out this gen, like on this gen
Cross-gen,
consoles.
though. Cross-gen
Yes,
Black
but
Flag.
but I mean, if I played it on the Xbox One, it doesn't matter. Like
we're
that,
counting-
was,
we're
that was a
talking Dark
good-looking
Souls,
Xbox
okay.
One game.
Yeah.
From then, everything.
And I'm not
that they've
counting
done.
them
Rainbow
doing
Six, all of that.
remasters
You have
either.
Rabbids, all of that. Like it's a lot.
There's Dark Souls Remaster.
Not many misses
Skull
in
of
there.
the First
Just
Sin.
Dance. Just like no, you don't need to like it. It's there. It's gonna kick ass. Like
Well, here's the thing: From Software is developer, Ubisoft is publisher, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
not a fair comparison.
because Bandai Namco
Sure.
is the publisher of a lot of the From games
Right,
that we
right,
just
right.
talked about. So you'd have to bring up one of the Ubisoft developers. Like you'd have to be like Ubisoft
Right.
Montreal.
Yeah,
this
and
to be a fair
I don't think any
comparison.
one of them put out as many games except maybe the Assassin's Creed one.
Right.
But if you talk about publisher, I
Right.
think you make a fair case, dude.
But like Ubisoft Quebec did Odyssey, and that's like the best one. Wasn't even Montreal.
Yeah. It's an interesting conversation. Yeah, we had more of a few like Love and Respects this week and last, where it's like, hey, as we're wrapping up this generation, I'm like, whoa. You know, it's like,
We still got like a year to go.
no, we're not. Yeah, we still have a full thick year before this generation's wrapped up.
I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah,
I'm just ready. I'm ready to take the dive.
I'm finishing this gen like in a great mood. You know, there's just so many fun success stories. I saw somebody tweet about No Man's Sky the other day, and it's just like, that feels good. that worked out. There's a lot of things, that we're potentially down on that are turning around. Like even like, Breakpoint, to get that reaction from, the head of Ubisoft, and for them to be like, this is really important to us that this does not happen again. Even like bad events had a transparency to them that like there wasn't. We all learned from them, hopefully in some way, or we'll hopefully not forget.
Yeah.
And things happen.
Dude, it's the generation of turnarounds. This is like the generation where games can come out bad and they can end up good.
Highest selling Fire Emblem, Yakuza
Final
kicking
Fantasy
ass.
14, dude.
It all started with Knack 2.
Okay.
That was
let's
the.
move on.
Whoa, I feel like I got Damiani on the panel right now.
It's true,
Ian,
man. That set the redemptive tone of this generation.
How much of this do you believe, and how much of that is a joke?
Knack 2 is
I
on
believe
on
in
the second
5%
best-selling
of that
console of all time.
5%.
It's like, what?
That was 95% joke.
Okay, just making sure. Because Knack 2 really bums me out, man.
Why?
The island sequence.
Dude, Knack 2's awesome.
The islands?
The island
I'm
sequence.
so glad I wasn't there.
I like Knack 2, honestly. That's not a joke. I like it.
Ian, you had a thought?
What was my thought? Well, I did have one thought, that the fear I always have. Whoops, that's Jonesy. The fear I always have with games that take super long is that they're going to come out feeling kind of outdated.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fair theory.
And like, I mean, it seems to be more of a personal thing. Like me and Nakey Jakey thought Red Dead 2 was a little outdated, but like most people didn't. So I guess
Okay,
it's
you
not
and
right.
you and Nikki Jakey.
Yeah.
Just you two.
But like,
Can we get Naked Jakey on the show?
I'd love to have Nakey Jakey.
I'd like to
on
have
the
a
show.
few words with Naked Jakey.
His video about it is great.
It is a good video. It's a good video.
But like, I think that the general populace does not think that about that game, and like, it's always my worry. And then things come out, and I'm like, yeah, this feels good, So
Last Guardian, you can make a case for.
Last
You can make a
Last
case for
Guardian
Last Guardian.
came out 7 years too late, for sure.
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out a year and a half too late. Just a
Yeah.
year and a half. Maybe a year.
Same console.
No.
Like a year.
What do you mean?
Like a year too late.
You mean like the time it took to come out?
Yeah.
Or how it felt old?
Mechanically.
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I know. I still like it, Brad.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
Last
okay.
Guardian felt ancient when it came out. That's the best example.
Well, it's a bunch of ruins. It's supposed to feel that way.
Oh
It's a
my
bad
goodness.
game.
Name a
think
game.
it's a good game.
Name a game with a better creature.
Uh,
With a better creature.
Shadow of the Colossus.
No.
That horse is better than that stupid bird.
No, nothing's better than this.
Is
stupid bird.
the
That bird
tyrant
sucks.
a creature?
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not better than that stupid bird.
Trico?
Every monster in Monster Hunter.
Ooh, I like them. You might find a Monster Hunter monster that comes close.
Puke is better than whatever that.
No,
because
because you can't nuzzle it.
Sure, you can. You just get hurt.
Yeah.
Can't nuzzle it.
Last one from Ibrahim Sozer. Make the podcast longer. Ibrahim?
I think
You
we
just did.
Yeah.
You just did.
Good job. You're in one.
Okay.
I think the thing with games taking so long to make, though, like Kingdom Hearts 3, is that because it took so long and I beat it in like a week or less,
I see.
it's gone.
You playing that DLC?
I'm going to for sure.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
I think I'm skipping it, man.
No, I think there's gonna be some good story stuff in there, surprisingly, out of
Okay.
nowhere. I think it's gonna be
Certainly
worth
isn't in
Kyle,
that trailer.
I feel like you're late to the party in a lot of games, but you'll show up.
it. Yeah, you'll show up,
Just like Dragon Quest.
You're a year later, guys. That's so cool. yeah. You're probably right.
dude. And remind when they like changed it. So cool.
It's time for bets. Next week's bet. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 will release Tuesday, November 5th. How many seconds into the opening cinematic will we have to wait to see Shadow the Hedgehog? Brandon Jones.
25.
25 seconds. Michael Huber.
13 seconds.
Bradley Ellis.
7.
Oh.
said 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Hank.
Good job,
I
Colin.
took the high bet, 56.
Woo! Okay.
That's a long intro.
That's
I'm
a really
hoping
long
he shows
Yeah.
up later.
Now, this will be tricky because what if there's like a close-up and you see them all and they're about to start racing and Shadow's right there. But
That's
that
what's 1 second.
close-up doesn't come in for a while, but it starts with a wide shot and you know he's in that shot. I can see the spot where he is. I just don't know that it's Shadow until later. You know what I mean?
Shadow is very distinct, man.
We still give it.
He's the only black hedgehog.
No,
What if
I'm
it's
talking
a
like an aerial
silhouette?
shot where he's just like a dot, and then it zooms into the track.
Oh, I
and
think
look,
that
there
would
he
not
is.
count.
And so
I
you're
get what
like,
you're saying.
well, we can technically see him.
Okay, so before I lock it in, let's say that we need to see Shadow's blades. His quills?
I think like any part
Oh,
where
you
you
mean
know it's him for
his-
definitive.
Oh.
His
His spikes.
his spikes. So yeah, we
You
all
know
agree.
they're gonna show their shoes first.
Yeah.
They're gonna
There
show
has
their
to be no
shoes
doubt.
getting
I'm just
ready to run.
this is hoping they focus on Mario and Sonic specifically, and then we like jump from
Yeah.
event to event with different people.
first
and the fourth
undisputed
event
moment.
has Shadow in it.
Okay, because I would say his shoes count. He's got iconic shoes as well.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you'll
if we
see
know
his-
it's this,
hover
like, you know.
shoes.
Yeah.
You'll see his little leg in his shoe,
Okay.
or something.
I would say that would
Dude,
count.
he's gonna be standing like on a perch, back to back with someone, looking evil. Oh my god! With the camera like facing up towards him.
Him and Yoshi, dude.
Yeah.
Let me lock those in.
Dude, what a team up!
And for some
Yeah.
reason, if he's not in the intro,
I would give it to Ian for having the longest, maybe.
okay, yeah, we're still waiting.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Okay, last week's bet. Luigi's Mansion 3 released Thursday, October 31st. That's today for the people on this podcast. How many ghosts on the back of the box? Guigi, not a ghost. So everybody's clear on this. Jones, you bet 8. Ben bet 5. I bet 11. Ian bet 13. No, I didn't bet 11.
This is a botch.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I did not bet 11. I bet 8. You bet. Jones, you bet 8. I bet 7. The reason 11 popped up on there is because that's the actual number. When I was like retyping, it's like, oh man, I got confused.
I trust you.
Hey, also,
I don't know why, but I do.
Comments. What do I have? Do I have like the brain damage I suffered as a child? Is that like resurfacing as things where I just get mixed up often? Is that like?
No,
is
it's just
that,
age, bro.
Is that just age? Is that just a normal
It's called
thing?
your mid-30s.
It's called you're losing a step.
Am I losing a step? And then what do I do to not lose? How do I get that step back? Let me know in the comments.
don't.
below.
It's not about,
Exercise.
it's not about the stumble. It's about the next step after that.
Yes,
You're gonna stumble. It's just gonna happen. It's how you sashay out of the stumble.
Because like a lot of people last week were like concerned about my reading. They're like, did Kyle like have a stroke because I was reading?
Not
so
on the
poorly?"
podcast.
Yeah, and it's like, help me? Okay. So anyway,
It was a rough reading week last
yeah, it
week.
was a rough read last week. How do you type that into web? Like, I can't read. Like, what do you type? So a lot of people Twittered in. I really appreciate that. Someone even circled all of them and found 10. However, there's this weird disco floor. And on this disco floor, we see a boss with a giant afro. Afro's always funny.
Well, it's because it's disco. Get it?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I mean, fine.
I can confirm that
Disco
typing I can't read into WebMD doesn't come up with anything. It's about being like, I can't go to the bathroom and just
okay.
can't sleep, can't breathe. So it's just the word can't.
Oh, okay.
Nothing comes up about not being
I'm not
able to
able to read. Okay. So I need the comments
your
for
own.
that.
So you're okay.
Yeah. I'm fine. I think we have to count the boss because she's got an orange glow around her.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, the boss is a
A
ghost.
spectral fire.
Boss
Yes.
is ghost.
And she has dancers on the floor who do not have the spectral glow. And so I don't think they are ghosts, but I think she is a ghost, and that brings us to 11. Another controversial one, because Jones, if it was 10, you would have won. But 11, Ian wins.
Good job, Ian.
Ian's on a hot streak
points.
right now.
Yeah.
Ian,
And
I think
that-
you have 6 points total, which is nuts.
And we're tied.
And that brings our totals to Scrappy Little Pigs 22. Gorgeous Gorillas 22. It's been a while since we've been tied.
Been a while.
We've never been tied. At this point in the year, it's never been this close.
You guys have usually floored us months ago.
Hey, the reason that we're up against the Gorgeous Gorillas is you won last season.
Oh. We did?
Yeah,
I was a Switcher Snake back
That's
then.
true. You were a Switcher
Love
Snake
the
last
Switcher
season. Yeah.
Snakes, dude.
So yeah, if you win, you get to keep
We
your name.
formed a union
Yeah.
together.
So yeah, it's tied. Or worse, far off, but it sounds like you can get it daily
On K-Rock.
on K-Rock.
106.7.
Check it out there.
I love
Come on, Shadow.
Striker and Climb. Rush Hour.
Before we wrap up the podcast, let me tell you about patreon.com/Easy Allies. That is a website you would go to if you're interested in supporting the Easy Allies. Also, you might be interested to know that at $5 or more per month, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get it on Fridays as opposed to Sundays. Also, you can submit to Love and Respect in that tier. I realize I don't explain that often, but yeah, everybody in that tier submits to Love and Respect. Everybody does. In fact, I demand it. If you give us $5 or more and you don't submit to Love and Respect, I'll give you a phone call and ask,
I bet
like,
a lot of people would like that.
Yeah,
What's up?
People want you to call them.
why aren't you, don't you have a question? Just write something down.
I sent something in and you didn't use it. Why would I send it in again?
I'm not going to pick it,
Why
but
would
I
I send
just,
it in?
I like having more to see. Honestly, I like saying no to your questions. Give me more.
It's
Okay.
about power.
It's about power. Excuse me, I misspoke. Not everyone in that tier submits questions, but everyone who does submit questions is in that tier. Ian Hink,
Hi.
you won again.
I can't believe it.
You get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. Sorry. We have a feed. We have a feed of Ben streaming right now. And I just saw him stretching. He's like stretching his arm out. His stretch is over, yeah.
He's done now.
Yeah.
But he's live streaming right now. as
He's
we're
live
filming
streaming
this.
right now. Yeah. Sorry. Final word, anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped in your head? Any video you would like to promote? And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off. Take it away.
Ian Hink, at Ian Hink, HNCK. I would like to promote Don's Design Lab because it's the best show ever and it doesn't get enough views.
The last one's incredible.
It
It's incredible. It's really great.
he does such a good job with that show. It's mind blowing. Final word.
I want to share the premise even.
Okay.
So the premise of Don's Design Lab, it's Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
He brings in a guest and he says, I'm going to make your level. And he sets down a big pad of paper and he's like, just scribble something out. And I'm going to make this for you. And
Production value.
It's almost like a home renovation show because the reveal at the end is he shows you the level that he's made for you. But in between, he has other Easy Allies test it out to tell him what's good and what's wrong.
and
what
make it
needs.
like harder and worse and meaner.
Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, and then it's that fun reveal at the end. It's like, does he like it? Does he hate it? Yeah,
It's a blast.
it's good. It's a good show.
Final word. I don't think we talk too much about Death Stranding, but like I recognize that that's going to be a hot button issue, talking too much about Death Stranding. So don't be mad at me. Hopefully we didn't say too much. I don't think we said anything, but yeah. Good night and good game.
What I'm not a humongous fan of is Final Fantasy VII. What I am a huge fan of is marketing campaigns.
Sexy.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. View Sonic, Beaten Down Brian, Car Keys Express, L. Thanis, Fantasy Critic, Hogue Law, SOS Children's Villages, Rob Bob Will, Greg Kettering, Accounts Payable, Caleb Crawford, Oam Hochstetler, Nick, Walker Hope, Will Schmuck, Mark Dalga, Bradley Spees, Jay Shee, Paulo Costabel, Jake Musser, Richard G. Flowers, Dave Red, Zachary Wingate, Jan Tyson, Corey Jackson, Professor Metal Gear, Dan Sebring, Andrew Reif, Sigma, Tim O'Keefe, Ethan R.C., Mick Roper, Robert Stoffel, Alex A.I., Hayden Hargraves, Valmar, Damnable Nook, Ali Cat, Happy Gaming, Blue Water Blue Sky, Daniel Portillo, Chum Nguyen, Miguel Rivas, Discarded Digit, Jose Gutierrez, Thomas Wigginton Jr., Neil Bruce, Matthew Pauling, Gino A. Leet, Blue, James Vitt, Luke Bennett, Candy Coated Thorns, Jenny Markula, G. Levin, G. Ken, Stephen Thomason, Yasser Kerbushi, Hitman 47, Ryan Anderson, Marcel Giru 17 Froelich, Samsa Stormbomb, S. Snake 24, Niz Klojgard, Rack, John Burns, Samuel Justice, Brad Lohman, DRD 7 of 14, Brad Grenz, Todd Yurkovic, Joe Burns, Sam Handrick, Andy Drew, Rickster EXE, Lars Berger, Jordan Kirk, Stephen Last, The Banana Forklift Killer, Joachim Morovuo, Mango, Kelvin Hartanto, Marcel Markov, David Wen, Jesper Lawson, Oni Blackmage, Matthew Holcomb, Roy Sung, Catherine Lai, Gary James, John Santoro, Neuromod, Robert Crouch, Jesse Blue, Mikhail Aniel, Ritz 1906, Jeffrey Ruchtenwald, Noah Weinstein, Rainier Dennis Bautista, Wavering Radiant, V8 Dave, Eric Gustafson, Paul Sway, Christian Hundorf, Tony Knox, Isun Chor, Forrest, Caleb Ledoux, Mike Hook 1, Vilar, Mauricio Fuentes, Ian, Brian Foster, The Classiest Hobo, Madman Kevin, Zintrax, Corey Landega, Unlucky Irish, Modren, Ganzak 009, Paul Bishop, Travis Miosi, Carl Williams, Jake in Japan, Brandon White, Sneaky Gato, Sean Mackey, Gabriel Aberg, Morpheus, David Halverson, Reed Johnson, Joe Rutsky, Nergal 131, Manuel Thomas, Migaz, Adam Scherenbrock, Not Jack, Kurzistav Rogowski, Volker Bach, James Vest, Allison Burt, Bjornor Haraldsvik, Blake Bonsack, Thomas Blaze Fauchereau, Cisco Ace Jackson Garcia, Trizac, Andreas Risberg, Wouter DeHaze, Matthew Holmes, ZK, Eric Maynard, Jose Carlos Madrigal, Fabian Winkler, General Piet, Leon Keys, Raymond Lee, Clay Roberts, JC3, Adam Lindsay, Jojo Denko, Faraz Rizvi, Jeff Easton, Fallen 201, Zoostick, Don Turner, Masuki 211, Alexander Zirianov, Aaron Kirk, Jesse Fish, Paul Nolson, Jason Joint, Edison S. Prada Jr., Feber Gundam, Dimitri Zetas, Travis Ing, Ahmed Al-Rashed, Butt Puddin, Tuttle, Furious Action Gamer, Jonathan and Amy Elkonis, Michael Shriver, Nathaniel Austin, Mac Reed, Haley Hill, Andrew Stoke, Evan Eng, Joshua Vanswall, Kyle Quintero, Sebastian Trier, Aurelien Grenier, Michael Pliskin, Bonnie and Jason Connor, BBC Chan, Andrew James Miller, Wen Boshan, Stephen Walther, Kevin Camposano, Diggles, XWF Outlaw, Circean Studios, Ibrahim Sozer, Jack Cullen, Momo Rashid, W. Crusher, Rickard Enbaum, Michael Clendenan, Breadroll Art, Sean German Efficiency Clinton, Lee Young, Timo Yeager, Eddie Reisner, Chase Caldwell, Christopher Godden, Halkin Stirs and Stirs, Barry, Mikey Mizek Novak, Joey Din, Luca Martini, Gon Kef, Kelvin, Adam Henry, Beautiful Kai, Sean Rowe, Caffeine Rage, David Kennedy, Strikeout NZ, Mike Calvi, Bard 91, Daniel Wong, Hadi Ali, Jameson Anderson, Vincent Foliot, Ahab, Neobear, Matthew Migler, Santiago Carrillo, Alex Glass, Junia Motomura, Mylene LaPearl Vanass, Ryan Ponder, Delisi, Tim Strothman, Mithers Strongbeard, Nycrypt, Line Crown 19, Mons Anderson, Ivan Skogheim, Jai Aldiar, Tom Masterman, Sam Sorensen, Awesome Express, Natabia Ross, Matt Ferguson, Vishal Singh, Helen Y., Felipe Aguilera, William Heaney, Krister Lundmark, Tim Mann, David, Chris the Pianist, Michelle Nubb, Sandra and Richard Acero, Andrew Smith, Anti-Ataraxia, William Haman, Pablo Rodriguez, Matthew Colomb, Jordan Phillips, Yo Butts, Philip Klarskov Jensen, Sun Pham, David Amaro, Michael Bisegli, Alex Monaco, Arthur Henrique Chinaglia, Zach Kaczynski, Jameson Lapine, Nuno Amaral, David Boyarsky, Rahiv Maharaj, Ryan Wagner, Pete Cerny, Joachim Wiederberg, Travis Gukowski, Christopher Santis, Egg Stravaganza, Gali Gutierrez, Dreams of Caffeine, Chris LaRue, The Fatty Show, Jason Shields, Stephen Cassell, Remy Loisel, Michael Kozachenko, Michael Bologna, Pete Shoemaker, Repas Edud, Cyberboa, Christoph Fatui, Azazel Valkyrie, Jeffrey Murillo, Mazrim Tame, Liam Ahern, Crediar, Jesse Vitelli, A Pack of Puppies, Mr. Anarchy, V. Curare, Tristan Howard, Jason I, Ronka Q, Sean Cornett, Big Marcus, Andy Marks, Materia Addict, Robert I, Will Arrowwood, Tyler Wallace, Julius Garcia, Gustav Strombohm, Christoph Packlinger, Alex Lavanier, Joe Frantic, Nefertiti Jenkins, Malcolm Moschette, Adam, Joel Olson, Quinn Riley, Robert Ori Einerson, Christopher Donnelly, Matt Karwoski, Logan Young, Trevor Thomas, Matthias Clare, Self-Imposed Illegitimate Child, Joel Short, Marco Hernandez, Magnus Rasmussen, Tense George, Dominic Brown, Chad McIntosh, Bunny Chen, Isaac, Swanson, Francisco Fialo, Joey and Kate, Raymond Chow, Ian Anderson, Zahid Hosseini Karami, DanPan16, C.S. Lewis, Orugachino, Splontot, Ulf himself, Jana, Kim Monk Vonderleith Haagensen Petersen, Colin Hoylman, Thorfkin, Jethrin, Max His Shame Turman, Shanley Ladia, Rerun, Linson Wu, Luis Sabara, Philip Higdon, Spencer Stevens, Megadet, Russell Bateman, BM5, Daniel Fuchs, Ivan Ponce, Jay Potter, Christopher A. Butler, Richard Johnston, Sean Essen, Sebastian Urban, Matt Ford, Alec Church, Culinary Stud, Michael Yao.